what's up, everybody? First things first, can we get a mic check in chat? Make sure everything sounds as it should. Mic check in chat, please. We are seconds away from kickoff. I have been sick the few days before this, so, you know, I haven't been feeling good, but I've been feeling much better the last couple of days. So I should be good. I'm gonna cough a little bit more than usual, maybe sneeze a little bit more than usual, but we should be good. 240 people in chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Miles Garrett's quest to break the record.
Not only for my for us as a team, and I want to be able to not only get him, but run their hopes to the playoffs. So if we can do all that in one fell blow, I love it.
You said you want that picture on the wall. Now, what will it take when everyone out here is going to stop you?
It'll take everything, but they're not stopping me today.
Good luck and a happy early birthday. Go get that birthday present.
Thank you very much. Take care.
He turns 30 tomorrow. It is Miles Garrett.
Looks like the Browns will get the ball first here. We got Nance and Romo on the call. Here's the stakes for the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know the Browns have no stakes coming into this one. Pittsburgh, if they win, they're in. If they lose, then they put themselves in a must-win situation against Baltimore next week. Remember, the Baltimore Ravens and the Steelers had the same record at the end of the season. The Ravens are the team that actually gets the tiebreaker there. So that's something to keep in mind here as we get into this game.
This is his 6th start. He won his first. He's dropped the last 4, but there have been games in there where you've seen really great the game against Tennessee, a high-scoring affair where they came up short. And last week, Tony, against Buffalo, you watched that tape. You broke it down 3 or 4 times, and you liked what you saw it a number of times.
I did. I see the progression in his evolution at the quarterback position. He's aggressively trying to take what the defense is giving him. That means checking the ball down, getting the ball out faster.
All right, Pittsburgh going to come out of here in what looks like a half shell, run to Rocket Sanders, and the Browns will get about 5 yards on the carry.
And that's a nice little drive starter. Of course, they're without Quinshon Judkins, who broke a leg last week in the loss against Buffalo. And you see their takeaways.
The big thing against Pittsburgh, man, you got to play clean football. 60 minutes of clean football. That's been the Browns' biggest enemy all year, no matter who the quarterback has been. Browns have not really played clean football all year. So if the Browns want to win this game, it's going to take 60 minutes of clean football. Up the middle here, pressure. Shador evades him, stays calm, throws to an open man. Really nice play, really nice poise there by Shador to get the ball to the 50.
Some nice.
Again, Highsmith up the middle. He doesn't really get spooked by that, stays in, and then throws the ball to 82 Bates. So good job by Shador, keeping his eyes north, staying focused.
Sanders, but you see Shador, his ability to create those plays, Jim, and extend the plays and make something good out of something bad is why you have some hope.
From the 48 of Pittsburgh, they fake it. Now they throw it, and just a little bit out of reach for the man.
All right, 2nd and 10.
And this is what he did.
Browns threatening to score here on the opening drive.
He just sees all the defense get back into zone coverage. He just misses here. You see the mist. Sometimes that ball comes off just a little bit wrong off your hand. Could have been a big play.
Kevin Stefanski, this is game 100 for him. How about throwing the football in this weather today? Heavier football, wet, slippery.
You can tell both quarterbacks will have a challenge there.
Nice cut by Rocket Sanders. And he'll be cut down at about the 55. Where are they at? They're 3rd and 7.
Well, this is a huge moment right here because this team he's going against has made it very difficult on young quarterbacks over the years.
So, look, Pittsburgh's going to try to disguise him. Almost certainly going to show up in some kind of sim pressure man look. But if you're paying attention here, look, nobody leaves their linebackers in man coverage more than Pittsburgh. So I would have my first read here be Harold Faden.
3rd and 7. the middle he goes.
Somewhere in the middle of the field has Jerry Jeudy, and it was the ball route on mesh here.
First down, gain of 10.
So they had some man beaters in here. They anticipated the man coverage on the 3rd and long here. Good play call by Tommy Rees, and then solid execution by Shador, reading that they had the linebackers out there in space, getting the ball to Jerry Jeudy in the right spot.
Drop back, outstanding.
So big 3rd down completion. And Cleveland now at the 35 of the Steelers. They bring in Dylan Sampson in the back.
Oh, D-Samp's back.
Been out last week with a hand injury. They give it to him.
And a stop here from 29.
This roster for Cleveland
Kyle Duggar
is all over the place, and they hit on so many of them in this year's draft.
They really have, and I think that's right. Obviously, you got to find your quarterback, and there are signs that I'm seeing that Shador has that chance, and I think these last 2 games will say a lot about what they do in the draft.
And one of those rookies you saw him fanning.
2nd and 9 here.
70 catches on the year.
They're going to drop back with Shador. A little bit of pressure here. He throws it in a muddy pocket, and it's behind Jeudy. Judy's looking for a flag. He has a little bit of an argument there, as it felt like, was it the corner was hanging off of him, but they're going to let that one go. And that's an important thing to watch, right? With Joey Porter Jr. as one of the Steelers' main cover guys, you know. How tight are they going to be calling this game if Porter's in? Is Porter in the game?
All on here. This is just the offensive side. You got some great ones on the defensive side, including Schlesinger. So, all right, so 3rd and 9 here. Another blitz. Throws right into it, but it's going to be stopped short. Chuck Clark only picked up a few.
Chuck Clark, the former longtime Raven, most famous for beating up, was it Earl Thomas in practice?
Shador to get it out. Just better defense. Clark coming out of the safety position and really forcing the.
See, last blitz, the Browns had a really good answer for. This one, they just didn't have a good answer there.
A decent opening drive right there. In these conditions, this is not easy.
See if they make the field goal. There's wet weather conditions here, right? So it's not a guaranteed it's 50-yarder. And he makes it.
It's a good one. 3 on the board for Cleveland. And what many figure will be a low-scoring game.
It should be, but you never know.
All right, so Browns up 3-0. A pretty interesting opening drive there. Solid execution. Look, the play calling from Tommy Rees, I think he's found a bit of a groove, especially when it comes to, the passing game. I think he's found a bit of a groove here, getting used to being the play caller. I think he's found his rhythm with his quarterback, Shador. I think the run game not being as reliable as you want it to be kind of comes back and hurts you a little bit, but solid enough drive there to get 3 points. I believe the Browns have had scoring drives a lot the last few weeks, and it's really been about like the stalling out in the 2nd and 3rd quarter. So we'll see what happens here. We got our first super chat from Ray Rags, who says there's a lot of problems in the run game. There always seems to be a 2nd level player breaking through to blow up a play, even if they look like the D-line. He can't get off to the 2nd level. Yeah, I mean, we don't have guys who can move anymore, right? Joe Bitonio is our best mover. He's about to retire. Wyatt Teller's not. Is he out there again? I think Wyatt Teller might be back out there, but he's coming back off of injury. Yeah, they need to get more athletic, a little bit stronger. Like, they used to be able to be poetry in motion, how well these big guys could just move in space and beat guys to spots and be so well coordinated. But just a little loss of athletic ability has really degraded that ability from this offensive line. It's unfortunate to see. All right, the Browns set to kick the ball off back to the Pittsburgh Steelers after getting a field goal to open the game. Now, the big question for the Browns defense, the last two opening quarters that they've played, the last four opening quarters they've played, they have been dog shit in the run game. Now, they have been able to tighten up the run defense in the second half of those games, to be fair. But Buffalo, terrible run defense, right? I don't think the run defense was particularly good versus the 49ers in the first half. And we know last week it was pretty bad versus the Buffalo Bills.
It's coming down.
Is it?
Yep. And I know this is actually for guys to sack because he gets the ball out so fast, but believe me,
Here's the
Garrett's too good.
What are the chances the Browns pull this W out?
At the 3-yard line.
The big problem for the Browns, I see, like they can keep this game close. They're a talented enough team to give a scare to anybody. But playing 60 minutes of clean football has been the problem. And Pittsburgh takes advantage of teams that don't play clean football. I don't think this is a great matchup for Cleveland, me personally. So I think that it's not super likely the Browns win this one. Ultimately because how can I trust them to play clean football at this point of the year of all time? You know what I mean?
260 yards passing a game in this win streak. And here we are. Hayward comes into the backfield. Warren
A toss sweep right to Miles.
and outside he goes.
Mason Graham missed the tackle, but there's a fumble. And Pittsburgh got on top of it.
Covered up, including Dylan Cook.
Wow. It was a great punch out by Bush here. He's going to turn and go boom.
I think that's why, like, because every week I see Pittsburgh fans wondering why Jaylen Warren doesn't get that many carries. I think the reason he doesn't get that many carries is because he carries the ball so high.
You hear that?
They're 1-5-1 on this field at Cleveland since 2017. It's a 6-yard gain. And it's Warren again. Thought he saw
The Browns stopped the run.
goes quickly.
All right, they'll force a attempt here.
1-yard pickup.
Miles Garrett, watch. Remember, he's only one sack away from breaking the record.
This key matchup, Tony.
Aaron Rodgers, though, gets rid of it at 2.62. Miles Garrett, I think his average time to sack at one point in the season was like 2.6. So it's going to be lightning quick if it happens.
Get it out quick there too, but he literally understands the game. You're going to see a lot of man coverage, trying to disrupt the guys on the outside and allow Garrett to get to the quarterback.
Ball 33 again without the suspended DK Metcalf and without Calvin Austin, who's out with a hamstring injury. So really thin on the outside. There's a little give to get.
They ran it.
And the Browns are all over it. Mason Graham, their first-round pick from Michigan, swallowed up that
Great
play.
job, Mason. Missed the tackle on the first down that allowed for extended yards, but does a really good job here. I mean, he was working off the opposite side of this play, and he just chases it down. That's an excellent job by Mason Graham. 4th and 2, they're going to force him to punt.
Waitman into punt. After 3 snaps and covering their own fumble, so it wasn't a pretty start.
All right, so the Browns get the ball about the 13, so they're going to be backed up here a little bit. Steelers opting to play a little field position here.
Shador Sanders and the Browns, they got the early field.
If this is the indicator of the tone being set by Pittsburgh, we're getting ultra conservative Mike Tomlin today. There's one thing Tomlin hates, it's running backs who are prone to fumble. Mike Tomlin hates running backs who could fumble. Not even like you got to fumble to piss off Mike Tomlin. It's like if you could fumble, if he can envision you fumbling, he will pull you off the field. Like, he is notoriously quick leash about those kind of things. But so far, so good for the Browns. Got to stop here. They get a chance to build on their 3-point lead early on. Yeah, so we're going to see a pretty conservative offensive game from Mike Tomlin here. I expect him to be super exotic on defense, though, to make up for it. I think they're going to give Shador a bunch of looks in the first half and then change those looks in the second half. They're not going to give him anything consistent all game. Phil says offense, the unsung hero for 95 record. What do you mean by that? Because I've watched this whole year. It's not been the case that is an unsung hero for this team. For Myles Garrett's record, they've made it so difficult for this man to get this record this year. All right, Browns back. A lot of time for Sanders. Deep ball to Tillman. And a good start for the Browns offense here is where is it going to get the ball to? From the 10, that's going to get the ball to about the 45, 50. So about the 45 on the Steelers side of the ball as the Browns with one play swing field position into a positive. Really good call here to get the pocket moving, giving Shador extra time there, and then giving Cedric Tillman especially the extra time to be able to finish his route. That's been the number one issue with Cedric Tillman, is that the offensive line that the Browns have had just not allowed him to get, there's a lot of space there, has not really allowed him to get to finish the kind of routes that he's really good at. There's something there with Cedric Tillman. I think he's a really nice player. It's just things haven't aligned. I think if you can get things to align with this team, offensive line-wise, I think Cedric Tillman would be a nice player for you, about an 800-yard wide receiver.
They had enough running backs. Came out of South Carolina, but had started his college career at Arkansas. They like him here.
Yes, they should.
2nd and 4. Give it to him again. Hayward's on him.
And Hayward going to push this back to a 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 5. It's going to be close to a 3rd and 6, a long 5.
But watch, he's going to go ahead and use his hands and just throw Robinson. And he's turned back the hands of time this year, playing like he's 28 years old. He's been dominant the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yes, he has. He's had sacks in each of the last 2 games.
That's why Pittsburgh wants to end it this week, to get rest for him, help TJ Watt get more time.
All right, they're going to show man coverage here.
3rd and 5.
Brown's going to run into it, and they get it.
By Williams, he hesitated just enough to get by an early.
Schmidt probably having the 2023 Hopkins season.
And you said it, the hesitation just...
I don't know about that. Did Hopkins miss a field goal early on?
Does the rest, and that's just a...
I think it's different with Schmidt because he's young, you know?
Their backfield has talent.
And they don't even have their best out there on injured reserve. Plus Jerome Ford on injured reserve. Here's a 1st and 10.
Well, they're all over that.
Sanders tries the left side. That's bottled up. We've got an update, and we say ho for the first time today to Abishai in New York.
Jim, Tony, the Bucs strike first. Baker Mayfield, Chris Godwin capping a 14-play drive for Tampa. 7-0 Bucs, middle of the first. Back to you.
Okay, so
I swear, we get more Baker Mayfield updates during Browns games than any other team, dog.
Meanwhile, Cleveland, 2nd possession.
All right, 28-yard line, 2nd and 8.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Drop back, throw, open man. Great adjustment by Fannin, and that's a touchdown.
Harold Fannin Jr.
Great adjustment by Fannin. That ball hung in the air there and got kind of lost. And Fannin just makes a great adjustment to the ball there.
This is going to be a touchdown, and this is as good as
I mean, that ball just dies in the wind, but Fannin finds it. Yeah, look at that. That ball just kind of does not carry. The wind gets to it at the end. And then a great adjustment by Harold Fannin, who looks hurt.
Rollout.
Yeah, it looks like his hamstring.
For the third-round pick out of Bowling Green.
It looks like you're going to stay here, but you're going to end up having the safety run all the way over. Stay high, low.
Yeah, that's supposed to go to the pylon. That ball gets carried by the wind, pushed towards the middle, but a great adjustment by Harold Fannin makes that possible. I mean, he's spinning at the time he tracks that ball. He's going to be such a special player in the future. I mean, he's already is, 7 touchdowns? This is 7th touchdown, over 700 yards.
The Cleveland rookie single season mark.
Well, he had a tug on his groin on Friday, Jim, and he was going to still play, but that is a huge deal for Cleveland because he does everything.
That's the whole fucking offense there, buddy. Like, 44 is the whole fucking offense. If he can't get back out there, it's going to be a problem.
Game plan up all week, and all of a sudden,
I mean, you just saw how he helped out the offense big time there, adjusting to that ball.
Well, Harold Fannin Jr., again, another one of these decorated rookies who's born down the road in Canton, went to Bowling Green, gets drafted by the hometown team, the Browns, in this year where there was a big...
Is David active today? Is that David still playing? I thought he didn't practice all week.
Apples, Mason Taylor with the Jets.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure David's not playing today, dog.
It's extra point, makes it 10-0 Cleveland, and they are loving this in Baltimore right now.
What a start. Woo, woo, woo.
I got this old thing and the bill from the store where I got it. Figured you could beat it with a better deal on one of these big boys.
It doesn't work that way.
Well, at Verizon, anyone can bring in their AT&T or T-Mobile bill and they'll give you a better deal.
Verizon's pricey.
No, better deal, best 5G network. Back to the TV. Does it come higher than 8K? Because I don't like to squint.
Man, take your TV and go.
Bring your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store for a better deal today.
Guess you're not as cool as Verizon.
You don't know that?
What's up, Carl Nation? It's your #1 broker with the best full-service wealth management skills in the biz.
Actually, I'm seeing something from Schwab.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Schwab lets you invest and trade on your own.
And if you want, they can even manage it for you.
Hey, man, we don't have to call it a great pass. It wasn't a great pass. It was significantly off. Harold made a great adjustment to it. And that's no shade to Shedeur. It's just what happened. You know what I mean? Like, not every touchdown throw or every completion the quarterback makes, even the good ones, going to be off of like amazing throws. It wasn't a great throw. Like, that ball was definitely supposed to go towards the front pylon. It's a corner route, right? Like, the ball's supposed to hit the pylon. It does not hit the pylon because it gets kind of pushed back towards the center of the field, which is real dangerous because if the safety's paying attention, they could have came back and adjusted to that ball much easier than Fannin could have. But luckily, the overhead safety wasn't paying attention. He was too worried about covering ground to Fannin, and Fannin just makes a great adjustment there. So, I mean, that's just what happened on the play. Like, we got a super chat from Will the Buff. Appreciate you, Will. It scored, so like you're not gonna be mad at it, obviously. Ravens Nations, if the Browns pull this game out, I will give you a free pass to slander Roquan Smith without any clapback ever. I already have a free pass to talk about Roquan Smith without any clapback. Y'all never provide clapback when I talk back about Roquan Smith because y'all don't have anything to say about any of my slander towards Roquan Smith.
That stretch.
I still haven't been sent a highlight in the game that matters, in a moment that matters, of Roquan Smith proving that that contract was a good fucking idea. Now, what this is really good for, right, a 10-point lead, this is going to force the Steelers to get out of that conservative game plan they had earlier. Remember, they ran on a 3rd and 5 earlier. So we'll see how the Steelers come out here. Are they going to just be dead set on running the ball, not trying to get the ball towards Miles, or are they going to start playing straight up because they need to kind of score here?
NFL number 2 in total yards. Usually you think the record would be better.
Fannin is the best tight end in the class. I think we found our kicker.
Great players.
Look at the stats for.
I hope so.
Stephen. He's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The D coordinator, been in this league a long time, been a head coach in the league. But what they've done, when you have an offense that's not producing points on the season, an offense that's only gone over 20 points 3 times in 15 games, you got a team that's also punted more. Defense is out there a lot.
And I mean, it's just impressive, and that's why I say he's one of the best. I think he should get another shot as a head coach, honestly. But look at this. Fewest in the NFL, second fewest, 3rd most sacks in the NFL. And I think that's part of the reason when you come to Cleveland, you're going against him and this team and Myles Garrett.
The official stepped in.
All right, so Myles Garrett out there.
As Gainwell caught the ball outside of the end zone, then stepped back. So it starts at the 20.
Play action.
Rodgers,
a little dump off here.
Crossing it over.
They'll get to a 2nd and 6.
So this week the Pro Bowl selections were announced. Of course, we mentioned T.J. Watt is out again.
Carson Schlesinger got robbed.
They're the punter lung, and they hope he'll have a full practice, be back soon. Jalen made it. Skoranek made it as a special teamer. Garrett and Ward on this.
Quincy is content with being on the wrong side of history. What are you even talking about? Is this a Shador thing?
2nd and 6. Rodgers flings it. Oh, that is not.
Great play by Tyson Campbell.
By Campbell. Campbell denying the throw to Valdez-Scantling. Now you got a 3rd and 6.
Big time coverage. Campbell having to run all the way across the field. Bootleg. Able to get.
He just didn't catch it.
And this is how you're going to have to change the platform for quarterbacks so Garrett doesn't.
Man, Tyson Campbell moves so much better laterally than fucking Greg Newsome did. Thank you for that trade, Jacksonville. Big moment here. They got Gainwell as the chip blocker for Miles. That's not going to work out. But that does. It's a big play. Who is that? Scotty Miller, but it's a flag on the play. What could it be? Doesn't look like it's going to be a hold. Offense. Nice. I'll take it. They called one of those fucking pick plays Pittsburgh loves to run.
For the OPI, wiping out the 24-yard.
They called a pick.
I think they're trying to set a pick, but I don't think he does. Let's see. Does he pick him? No.
Ooh. Hey, got lucky there.
Look at, they're trying to chip Garrett. The ball had to come out really fast. Aaron does a great job getting the ball out as fast as anybody. But
all right, 3rd and 16. They're definitely just going to do a little draw here or some shit like that. A little screen. No way they drop back straight up and try to throw this.
On a 3rd and 16.
Oh, they're going to give them a true pass set, and they're going to throw to the big-ass tight end.
Washington gets some of it back, but once again, Pittsburgh unable to produce a first
fuck. Did we get the penalty for yelling at his face? Was that on Rashad Jenkins? Is that gonna be on Jenkins? For clapping at his face?
I think it's gonna bring the offense back on the field, Joe.
No, they're talking to Kevin.
Could be taunting. I think Jenkins, number 5, might have been saying something.
After the play was over, taunting defense number 5. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced for the end of the run. Automatic first down. This is the first foul in the unsportsmanlike category.
You can't have that for the veteran, man.
Another foul in the
It's a really ticky-tack call there. I mean, he is in his face, right? Talking cash money shit. But I feel like that's part of the game. They can call it if they feel like the game is a little bit more chippy or not. But that's kind of crazy.
Don't do that.
There's been no chippiness in this game.
A little makeup call that they knew.
It's I think I agree with Tim with Tony there. I think it's a makeup call.
Play action.
Toss. Warren. Side is open for a moment, and then it collapses.
Yeah, I think that was a makeup call. I don't think that was a legit straight up, like they really thought that was a penalty. Like Jalen Ramsey's gonna do worse shit later on this game and not get called for it. That's kind of bullshit.
The guy who's gonna break the sack record, that's when we want to throw. And then we want to run when he's in the game. And how good has Arthur been? Smith right there this year, especially the last month.
No, things are really in rhythm right now for this Pittsburgh offense. They got the slow start, first two series, but got new life with the taunting penalty. Garrett remains out for this 2nd and 5. Dump it off to Washington, and the big man is tripped up about a yard short. Del Pitt was the one who got him down low. Let's go down to Tracy.
Well, Jim, we saw the Browns star tight end get helped off after that touchdown, and it is indeed a groin injury that he re-aggravated. We talked about how he suffered that on Friday in practice. Went into the blue tent, tried to do some running on the sidelines, went back into the blue tent, didn't feel right. They've taken him into the locker room. He's questionable to return.
Oh boy, they would really not want to lose him the rest of the way. Garrett comes back in on 3rd and 1, lined up on the near side is Miles Garrett. And here they go.
Oh, shit.
Hayward. Look at Connor Hayward racing down the sideline.
That's a great call. We talked about Arthur Smith.
Here we go.
Calling it. That's a great, cool design. It looks like a tush push, and then he's going to run the option to the right. And then the seal on the edge. Just a wonderful job by Warren. Really blocking two guys, and then a nice, cool jump at the end for absolutely no reason.
Diabate
He's going to the house. He's going to jump in, no reason. I mean, that's gives you the opportunity when you're running the tush push look to create explosive plays. They got one right there.
29 yards they got. And now the play clock has hit 0.
First, start timeout. Pittsburgh. This will be a 30-second.
Aaron Rodgers arguing about whether he gets a bigger clock reset there or not, or when they reset the clock. Yeah, when they get the reset of the clock there. They call a timeout. It's going to be about 60 seconds to the back. Chad is hilarious, bro. Chad is so bipolar today. Y'all are amped up.
This is Hayward close to going out of bounds, but I saw an inch of green there. There's the son of a running back who was a star long ago, Craig Ironhead Hayward.
Ironhead.
Yeah, the late great. Two of the sons playing for the Steelers now. Here's a 1st and 10. Here's Gainwell.
Good job by Miles scraping.
Gainwell and Warren. What a performance they put up against the Lions.
I mean, it was the most yards per attempt they've had in forever. And it was just systematic. And the funny part is they had Cook, a young player at left tackle. And I think that's a big reason why these guys had some space out there with this offensive line was doing it. But look at that. Only running back duo to each have 500-plus scrimmage yards. Both these teams have talent at the running back position.
Team scored 3 touchdowns of 45 yards.
Yeah, the big plays, right? And they were to the left behind the young guys. It shows you the player development that Pittsburgh has.
2 of them runs by Warren, 1 a touchdown.
Boy, they put everything towards Miles here. And a great job by Devin Bush to run behind it. He saw it coming. And they're going to be forced into another 3rd and long here.
This is almost like a coverage sack. Aaron's looking to the right. Everyone's covered. Then he ends up coming back because he doesn't want to give up the sack record. Because otherwise you don't throw that.
You think it's in his head, right?
I don't think he wants that one.
He does not want to be in that picture.
All right, we're going to end the first quarter. Browns up 10-0. The Steelers are in scoring range here. So we'll see. We'll see.
And the Steelers have ground to make up. Cleveland off to a 10-0 lead after 1.
Wyatt Teller was in the medical tent about 15 minutes ago. Came out limping. I didn't even know Wyatt Teller was out there today. It shows you how early he got hurt. Harold Faden is officially questionable to return with that groin injury. Probably not going to come back. All right. Let's go check some scores with the Sleeper app. Make sure you join the Sleeper app. Use promo code Worst Take for the Sleeper app. Get a 100% deposit on up to $100. Again, you get a 100% deposit on up to $100 when you use the Sleeper app. All right, let's look at some scores around the league here. Had a lot of games go on before Sunday, so there's not a ton of games going on now. The Seahawks are 3-0 on the Panthers right now. The Cardinals are losing 13-0 from the Bengals. That offense has been heating up the last couple of weeks here as the Bengals try to rally at the end of the season to kind of finish with pride. The Jaguars are down 10-0 to the Colts. It's interesting. The Buccaneers and Dolphins are tied up back at 7. The Patriots are up 14-0 on the Jets, and the Saints are down 6-0 to the Saints. Notable games today: Giants and Raiders, Eagles, Bills, and Bears and 49ers. Boy, that 4 o'clock window is just decimated because of all the Saturday games. All right, 3rd and 14 here to start out the second quarter. Steelers got the ball on where? The 30 or the 25? 25.
47-degree day and light rain.
Light rain, light wind.
Put up by the Steelers, benefited by a taunting penalty to get them here.
There's a guy going for the sack record.
Miles gonna almost break through here.
Incomplete. He tried to throw
a quick screen.
Garrett.
But Pittsburgh really hemorrhaging their offense to try to just avoid Myles Garrett here. I wonder if they adjust that in the second half. They are just terrified of Miles.
You have to throw around him right in the passing lane. Now Boswell.
Chris Boswell is one of the best kickers in the league.
In this stadium from beyond 40, he's 1 for 6.
Really?
His career. Wow. There you go.
I did not know that.
This is 44 yards.
And he's going to be good.
Makes a sudden right turn.
Boy, that thing looked like it was going to be bad all the way right until it hit the plane of the crossbar. Like, it looked bad about 80% of the way there. It looked like it almost got blocked. It looked bad for him, and it just curved right in there in the last second. Pittsburgh gets 3 on the board here. Oh. Yeah, the Steelers are playing ultra conservative football here.
So they might be the beneficiaries of that sloppy snap, but Wakeman was able to get it down, and Tomlin and team are on the board for the first time today. 10-3 Cleveland here at the start of the second quarter. Week 17, and there are a number of games that are pivotal, but this one's got, again, so much hinging on it. Baltimore's win last night at Green Bay. Incredible performance by the Ravens, especially by Derrick Henry. I'm not sure there's been a better individual performance this entire season across the league than what we saw last night by Derrick Henry. The 4 touchdowns and over 200 yards on the ground.
And they made the game go through him. 35, 36 carries. It's like, we're going down through Derrick Henry. Because Lamar wasn't playing, that sets up a possible monster game.
It looks like Pittsburgh's quite content to have this be a slow, short-scoring game. If you're the Browns, we talked about magic numbers to win football games in the past. I think last week versus Buffalo, I thought the magic number was about 22.5. I think the magic number for the Browns is like 19.5, right? You get the 20, 21 points, you should probably feel safe because the way that Pittsburgh's playing is just not going to allow them to score more than that right now unless they drastically change how they want to operate. And without DK, I don't think they're going to have the confidence to operate in a different manner.
5 of 7, 101 yards and a touchdown. Play action, start this series, and he's on target again. Back to Judy for a pickup of 12 or 13, and we're on our way to Adam Shine for an update.
Jim and Tony, you guys have showed the AFC playoff picture. How about this? The Colts have jumped all over the Jaguars. It's 10-0 Indy after this Jonathan Taylor touchdown. The Jags' biggest deficit since Week 7. Back to you.
Well, the Jags are on a roll, but Phillip Rivers continues to outplay all expectations.
He's got to come back next year.
I was going to say, bring him back. Here's the give, and that's
going to be 2nd and 11.
No gain, Queen all over him, and we go.
It's really been the pass defense from Pittsburgh that's been super leaky. You know, they've been able to have their moments against the run versus Cleveland, but they've been pretty loose in their pass coverages.
That thigh, he limped off the field. Certainly that would be a huge loss.
Carson Schlesinger.
Watch.
Oh, wow, the Schlesinger, regarded by most people as the big favorite to.
Yeah, when you got a team with this many rookies on it, you're just going to get wear and tear at the end because they haven't played this much before, you know?
1-year starter at UCLA.
Let alone NFL football.
Arrival, what a year he's had. 2nd and 10. And
good throw. Now, that's a great throw by Sanders. Right over the middle into a soft spot in the zone there to Jerry Jeudy. Really nice throw. Look at this throw.
Stop. He sees these safeties here, but you got to throw it right behind.
They flare out. And again, it's been loose coverage. They got linebackers out there in base. They're still sticking in base. Malik Harrison. Is that Malik Harrison out there in coverage?
Right now, this is his best.
Really nice throw, and that's throwing with anticipation.
Already 3 plays, not 4 there, over 10 yards in the air. First time this season in the first half he's done that.
3 of the passes going to Judy. Here he dumps it.
Screen here, but it's sniffed out.
Queen just spins him around.
They tried to hit a home run there on the screen. They thought they would be getting hit with the blitz.
In our visit with him, you had a great discussion with him, Tony, but he was insistent on talking about how the game of football is simple when your eyes are in the right place. That was really a point of emphasis for him this week about his eyes.
What that means is if you understand coverages and you learn football, you start to know we have concepts. This side of the field is versus cover 3. This side's versus cover 2. This side's versus cover 4. So if you start in the correct spot, your footwork goes right where it should go. The ball goes 1 to 2 to 3. If you start on the left side, you're late to everything.
Here he is on 2nd and 11. In trouble, and he gets it back to the line of scrimmage.
They tried to get a strip sack there.
Smith chases him down.
All right, it's going to be 3rd and 10. Did he get a yard there? It looked like he did not. Might have lost a couple.
And this is why he actually ended up taking the sack. Now watch right here. He's going to look to the left side of the field. But if you end up going to the right, wide open in the flat, And that's just through experiences, learning football, and he has a chance to learn that.
3rd and 12. Can they get in field goal range? Whistle first. Play is moved in.
So they're going to take themselves out of range here.
Full start. Offense number 56. 5-yard penalty.
God damn, the center, dude. How do you get false start? How do you false start?
What happens is you get sacked because you're looking over there and then nothing's open because they swallowed it up with the coverage versus the concept you had on offensive play. But if you know, and the older you get and the more experiences and reps you get, you start to know that ball should go to the right. And if he actually started to the right, he would have had an easy completion for 10, 12 yards. So he is correct in understanding that. But he's really just understanding football at a higher level.
TJ Watt watching. 3rd and 17.
Might be a rush lane here for him.
It's in field goal range with this scramble down to the 34-yard.
It's a good run.
And Hayward all the way down the field, able to make the tackle.
It's a good run there. Gets in the field goal range. Now it's a what, a 45, about a 50-yarder.
Coming out in the draft, and he's shown the propensity to kind of and get out there as you see the crowd upset.
Well,
nah, he's a full-blown runner at that point, man.
51 yards.
They're going to go for this.
Here at the Pittsburgh.
They must not trust the kicker here.
The terrible towels creating this noise right now.
Again, operating without Fannin, who's on the sideline with a groin injury.
Got it. Oh, just missed it.
That went to Canella.
Yeah, Sal Canella out there.
Off the practice squad yesterday. And the gamble does not pay off for Cleveland that time.
I get why you would want to go for it there. You were in a good rhythm before the penalties. And, you know, you get the run there, create some momentum. You're 3rd and 4th and 7. You're out the playoff hunt. You got nothing to lose here. You know, so you might as well be ultra aggressive. And if you're watching how Pittsburgh's playing on offense, they are so terrified of Miles that you're not really worried about them moving the ball that much. So it's a risky call there to go for it. You're trying to maximize, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll become controversial to some people, but I don't really mind it. I don't really care. At this point in the season, if you want to be super aggressive, then fuck it. You know what I mean? Why not? If they were like playing for something, if they were like in the playoff hunt, it would bother me, but you're not. You're fucking 3 and 12. Sure, be ultra aggressive. Who gives a fuck? I don't think the field goal there is automatic. It's a 50-yarder in rain towards the dog pound. It's not an automatic field goal. Like, you couldn't miss the field goal there. I think people are underrating that ability. So if you're at the points where you think the field goal is like 50-50 there based on your knowledge of the kicker, the terrain, and you want to go for it, and you think that you have, 50-50 odds to convert, okay, whatever. You know, you're 3 and fucking 12. Who cares? Who's really, that's not going to be what gets you fired, right? Like, you know, but hey. Yeah.
On this drizzly day in Northeast Ohio, and good news for the Browns defense, Carson Swessinger. We saw him.
Swess is back out there though. That's good news.
So big, fast, and stinky. One of the best spies I've seen.
Here's the handoff.
And here comes the run game stuff.
Taking it right up the middle for the big gain. Finally brought down by Thomas.
Man, it's just a good job on the interior of the line, but then at the end of it, look at the ball protection as well. Very impressive by Warren right there, and this is why Pittsburgh last week was able to go into Detroit and win. The ability to run the football, shorten the game, and then have Aaron Rodgers on third down do what he does.
Going with the big package here, including Spencer Anderson.
This is what I thought they would do a lot more in this game, and I expect it to continue. A lot of big people, extra old linemen in right here.
That's Anderson.
Yep.
First and 10. And it's Warren again. Banging around. For about 5. Tracy.
2nd and 6.
Questioning why Aaron Rodgers took that time out right at the end of that first quarter, and he looked confused. Well, it was because Darnell Washington was dealing with a wrist injury and was walking off the field to get it checked. He did go back in for a play, but then he came back off, went right into the locker room, and he's listed as questionable with a forearm injury.
Of course, Washington emerging as this season goes on as one of Rodgers' favorite targets.
Hey, Mason doesn't have to fucking play.
2nd and 6. Garrett looks like he's ready to pounce. Rodgers unloads it, and it's just out of reach for Valdez-Scantling. Rodgers thought there was an opportunity there, Tone.
3rd and 6.
Just a little inside. I also thought MVS could have got his eyes around just a little early.
Good coverage by Delpit.
A little earlier. The ball's already in the air, so by that point, he doesn't have a chance to pick up the ball and change his body direction.
And I think Rodgers missed it a little bit too.
Rodgers throws it a little bit wider, but they definitely had an opportunity against a team who runs more man than anyone in the NFL. You're going to have those chances today.
Rodgers with 4 completions. None of them so far to a tight end. To a wide receiver, beg your pardon.
He moved him all the way over because Garrett is over there. They've chipped him on every play but the bootleg.
3rd and 6. They go back.
Good job by Tyson.
The ball comes out of the hands.
Good job, Tyson.
Incomplete.
Tyson got his arms in there.
This was a perfect throw.
I mean, he's not known for playing the football well. Doesn't really even play it. He plays the body here, right? He gets his hand on the chest.
Look at the hand right there.
Great job.
That's not on Thielen. That's just Campbell with great technique and coverage.
Good job.
Aaron Rodgers without Metcalf, without Austin, they have not had a single catch by.
That was kind of thought process. They didn't really fear Pittsburgh's offense, given what Pittsburgh's done. They thought, why not go for it? But it is going to cost them significant field position here.
Jabril Peppers at the 60. 31-yard punt. Cleveland coming back out with a 10-3 lead.
We had a Crime Stopper tip come in.
Just now?
Yep.
How you doing this evening?
Nothing better.
You mind if we go inside?
I don't have any drugs.
Dog's not trained to detect drugs. The dog's trained to detect money.
That can't be. Is that real?
That's a $20 million.
It'd be so much easier if we just stole this money. What did you say?
Insane Miami. Widespread criminal corruption.
They're the last minute. Everyone's terrified.
Let's stop by the defense. See what the offense does. Last time they were backed up in field position, they actually had a couple of their best plays of the game. So we'll see what happens there. Shador probably having his 2nd best half since what? The Titans game? I would say his 2nd best half since then.
The new SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants menu is now at Burger King. Let your imagination set sail with these 4 tasty treasures. The SpongeBob movie, now playing.
Make the most of your season during the Kia Season of New Tradition sales event.
Yeah, right now I think Pittsburgh's playing so scared they're hemorrhaging their own offense to avoid Myles Garrett, kind of like past the point of what's reasonable. I imagine that they kind of just have to let it go at some point, and just be okay with the ideal of Myles getting a sack. Like, who gives a fuck if he gets the sack record on you, right? If you're Pittsburgh, you probably care more about clinching the division than that. But if they're going to petty their way into a Baltimore game, week 18, that's all them right there. Like, but they are definitely hemorrhaging this offense right now because they're terrified of Miles.
Tomlin, and he told us he had no intentions of playing him today. Tomlin said he will not play until he has a full week of full participation. He said because Watt is coming back from a medical procedure and not from an injury, he needs to be a full participant all week leading up to the game.
Thank you, Tracy. Perhaps that'll come this week. They were 1-10, the Steelers. The first 11 games of his career, he missed because of injury. 1-10. But since he's been out, they've won these last 2.
I think what happened, Harmon came back. Their first round has been dominant. And when he's in the game, and you'll see, he was so disruptive last week in the run game, so that helps. Wait till they get them both back.
The give, Sampson. For about 3. Clark comes up to make the tackle. The quarterbacks in this game, the numbers, only 13 yards passing so far for Aaron Rodgers, again, without his main 2 wide receivers, and the numbers impressive, meanwhile, for Shedeur Sanders.
And they could be even better. He's actually started on the wrong side twice, but every other throw has been outstanding. And I know it's tough to throw in these.
Mighty with the Go Brown super chat. Appreciate you, Mighty.
Decisive. It's been impressive.
2nd and 7, and on the ground.
Another run here. Now to get into a 3rd and manageable.
Defenders brought down by Samuel and Moon. Sampson.
I don't like the Browns coming out here with 2 runs in a row, though. Like, why are we starting to conserve our offense now?
Now it's a 3rd and 4. It's a simple thing.
Like, Shedeur's been working this game.
The ball out to one of your playmakers. Fannin being out.
Spread it out a little bit here.
That's the guy who has a lot of the options here. But Shedeur feels like he's in good rhythm. I think he gets it done here. Don't you think?
Well, he's certainly been up to the task so far. I'll ride with your instincts, as I always do.
Base look here. They're going to have to underneath.
Down the middle.
There we go.
Right on Tony, and it's Bond with the catch of the first down. There's yet another rookie that's showing potential for this franchise.
This is just next level. See the defense? They know where the sticks are, 3rd and 4. He's going to throw behind them. I mean, it's the exact perfect read, the timing, because you're expecting to have an underneath defender come.
That ball get batted?
Or a wide receiver come open, but that was maybe my favorite decision throw, and ability potentially to stand in that pocket and take a hit. That was really high level.
All right, 1st and 10 here.
With his 17th catch of the season, rookie out of Texas.
Play action. There's got to be a hold there.
Gonna run for about 3 or 4. He had 49.
The Browns got away with 1. You look at the right side of that play. KT Leviston puts Alex Highsmith in a literal chokehold. Or that's not him. The edge rusher out of Ohio State they drafted.
Create a big play here and there, but check down. But it was like, hey, he's flashing to me that he's got a chance, which is what you want to see from a young guy who doesn't fully know the game yet, because no rookie does. But using his legs there, Jim, there was nothing there. That is a positive play.
So going without Fannin. Meanwhile, on the other side, we hear Washington's been ruled out for the rest of the game.
Good throw.
Feeding over and over again.
Jerry Jeudy.
Passes across the middle, and they've had some heat on him. That one for 12 and a first down.
I want you to watch. If the backer goes this way, you don't throw the slant. If he goes this way, you throw the slant. He looks at him, and as soon as he sees Queen take a step to Shedeur's left, that is on time, eyes in the right spot. He's playing some ball today.
Jeudy with his 4th catch for 50 yards.
All right, let's keep going.
First down with 5 minutes to go in the half.
Oh boy, here we go. Every fucking time. I think he got hit while he threw it and got tipped at the line for good measure here.
Turnover as he hit Sanders as he was trying.
There's like 1 every first half. It's unfortunate. Let's look at the replay here because I think he got tipped. Look, Highsmith back there, boom, yeah, it's hit as he threw and then got tipped. That's just unfortunate for Shedeur. I mean, unfortunate. It got thrown right into the fucking face. of somebody too. So they didn't even get tipped. It went off the helmet. Yeah, that was either going to be a strip sack or a tip ball. That wasn't going to work out there.
And Shador just got walloped.
The nerves for a dad in those.
All
Such a
right.
great moment watching your son do this.
From the 31. Play action. Planting. Looking. Got rid of it. Just in time. To Hayward. And it's going to be a loss of 3. Pressure was applied by Alex Wright.
Well, they're sliding the line to Garrett always. And all of a sudden, here comes Wright on the other side. Good job, Aaron, to get rid of the ball. But you see why it's so difficult to throw the ball against this Cleveland team, number 1 in the National Football League. These guys up front wreak havoc in this wide 9 technique, continuing today.
Yeah, Rodgers again. Not going to give up a
Second and 13 here.
Even though he's the most sacked quarterback in NFL history, 596 times. He's the most. Russell Wilson second. Brady third most. Second and 13. And Warren gets good chunk play. All that loss on the previous play back, and then some for 6.
Yeah,
Now they're still in field goal range, right? Yeah.
back chance. You're in field goal range. Don't want to take a sack for multiple reasons. The record and the field goal.
There's TJ coming over and knocking knuckles with Highsmith. 2 guys that line up opposite sides most of the time when they're healthy.
Cam got to be the worst left tackle I've ever seen.
Sides to the near.
I would say that if I haven't seen like 2 guys be worse than him this year and last year.
That's where he is. Stepping up. Gonna run for it. Oh.
That's short. That's short. That's 4th and 1. That's 4th and 1. He slid before. They're going to put him down about a yard short.
Got a big decision right here.
They're marking a full yard short. It's going to be a 4th and 1.
Now, Mike Tomlin traditionally kicks a field goal here.
Too early.
Well, if it was next week's game, I think he would have dove forward.
They go back to Spartan here, Tony. This is where they broke the big play earlier when Connor Hayward under center. Timeout call by Pittsburgh.
Cam's actually considerably better than Jed Wills last year. Corn Lucas this year. Which isn't to say that those guys, which isn't to say that like Cam Robinson's playing good at any means. It's just to say how fucking terrible the other left tackles have been. You know, we've just seen some god-awful left tackle play over the last couple of years. Like, normally what Cam Robinson is doing out there should be the worst you've ever seen. But the Browns have put up 2 worst tackles, like, in recent memory that I can't ignore.
So they're going to go out of that.
They're going to go for this.
From the Spartan formation, as they call it.
I would too, though, after you just showed it to him.
Yep. But they got 3 receivers plus Gainwell, who's their best pass catcher on the wing to the left.
He's going to lift his leg, look at the defense, and now you know he's got to snap it.
4th and 1, and he throws it down the field and out of
That's what they did?
for Scotty Miller, and the Browns take over on downs.
Boy. Again, Pittsburgh is hemorrhaging their offense to try to stop Myles Garrett. I don't even think it's necessary. This is just one of the most pettiest offensive game plans I've ever seen. And it's clearly not even working. I mean, what, you're going to go Scotty fucking Miller one-on-one? That was the big game plan there? You're going to go Scotty Miller game on one-on-one on a 4th and inches? It wasn't even open. Like, you didn't even wait for it to open up. Like, that's crazy. That's not even a mismatch, man. Like, maybe if it's DK, that makes sense. But that wouldn't even be DK in that spot. Boy, Pittsburgh really is trying to give this game to Cleveland here. Cleveland can have this one. if they play just like 30 minutes of cleaner football. I don't even think they got to play clean football, if I'm being honest. The Steelers are bullshitting, dog. That's something. Wow. Yeah, Corn had like 15 pressures. No, Corn was worse than that, bro. He gave up like 6 pressures a game. Corn Lucas played 5 games and gave up a season's worth of pressures. It was crazy. It's like Cam Robinson's not good by any means, but he is certainly not as bad as Corn Lucas was. Like, I'm not about to be out there like, we need to put Corn Lucas back out there. Like, nah. Really gonna lose this game out of spite? Truly, seems like that's the game plan, is to lose the game out of spite. It's wild. This is like, they've called like 4 or 5 different plays all game. Like, they're scared. They're legitimately, they don't want Miles to get that record and they don't care. Like,
going downfield. A team you would go downfield more on than this Cleveland team.
I mean, maybe they're thinking they get the ball back after half, but like, I don't know, man. Tomlin petty ass don't want us to draft the QB. I don't think they care. Oh my God.
Almost going the other way. Herbig.
Ooh, buddy.
Saw it coming. Incomplete.
Well, you can't throw it late and a little soft. This should have been
Herbig should have got a pick 6 there. Ooh, you are fucking lucky.
You know, he's thrown the 8 interceptions since he's been playing. And
the foil theory, the Steelers are so petty. They don't want the Browns to have the number 1 pick is. I don't think it's that. Yeah, the Steelers are starting to play with a lot of confidence on that defensive side of the ball.
For about 4.
So we'll see how that changes the dynamic here. But I truly think the Steelers are just hemorrhaging the offense because they really don't want to be the team that gives up that sack.
Styles make fights. You got a team man-to-man, me and you right here, and no safety's coming over to help. And you want to throw these go routes, and I feel like they just miss over and over. This could be a few big plays that could have scored. And now you're throwing to smaller guys. DK Metcalf is the difference maker on those routes. That's a huge thing that he's not playing today.
Again, they still have not had a pass reception by one of the wide receivers. We got a timeout called here by Pittsburgh. Their last. Poorly with that last reception, and you see.
Well, no receivers.
16. Yeah, look at
this catch today.
And of course, Austin out with a hamstring.
Top 2 receivers. Thielen's going to have to show up in MVS.
Well, the other thing about Metcalf is if Cleveland wins this game and it comes down to Baltimore and Pittsburgh next week for the division, you still got to go without DK Metcalf with a season on the line.
Not a great decision.
3rd and 6 here with 2:14 to go before the intermission.
This is huge. You don't get Pittsburgh points without timeouts. You get the first down.
Sanders.
Oh, he might have it. Nope.
Move, Judy. Not going to get there. Ramsey and others. Porter on him as well. It'll be 4th down. Take it to the 2-minute warning.
Pittsburgh gets the ball back.
He could have gotten it if he continued on.
Nah, he wasn't going to outrun Jalen Ramsey. What the fuck is Tony Romo talking about? What? No, he wasn't going to outrun Jalen. Yeah. I don't think the Steelers really care what the Browns do in the draft, I'm being honest with you guys. I don't think the Steelers look at us as a threat, regardless of if we draft well or not. Yeah, you guys saying if he keeps going upfield, you think he can outrun? I don't think he outruns Jalen Ramsey. I think we're kind of sleeping on how fast Jalen Ramsey is. I think he saw that was Jalen Ramsey and was like, I got to try to cut around him. I can't outrun him. Judy's not slow, but Jalen Ramsey's just long and quick. Like, you're not running past Jalen Ramsey. There's a reason he's playing it like that. Like, he's Jalen Ramsey. This is like when people are like, oh, no, he could outran Miles. And we're like, no, you can't. He wasn't converting there. We could be mad at Jerry Jeudy, but Jerry Jeudy's been producing today. I don't know why the fuck we're mad at Jerry Jeudy like this. Like, Jerry's been all the games to be mad at Jerry Jeudy. This is not one of them. I could see not wanting to be the team that he passes TJ and also trying to push them out of the #1 pick and get them away from a quarterback, the confidence he can win the next few regardless. I don't think he gives a fuck about whether the Browns get the #1 pick or not. Like, I don't think the Steelers really care. I think the Steelers aren't operating like that. I just think they don't want Miles to get the record. Like, I truly think that's just what they're on right now. I don't think this is anything 4D chess related. They're not trying to do something for the future. They don't want the Browns to get that record on them. This is just pettiness. Like, when it comes to Tomlin, always default to petty. It's never conspiracy. It's always petty.
Time report. Corey Borquez into punt.
Remember, the Steelers get the ball after half, too.
And he delivers a beauty. Spiral down to the 13 to Scotty Miller. Dancing on the sideline and goes out of bounds. McMillan there.
So they're going to have to work for some yards here if they want it. They're going to have to open up the playbook a little bit here if they want to score here. They used all their timeouts to score here. If they're still running the scared of Myles Garrett plays, then they're never going to break out of it. Like, in this 2-minute drive, if they're not willing to just give us a couple of true dropbacks, then they're never going to do it all game.
On Christmas Day, no less, by Grant Delpit. Congratulations on being the Browns' Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Looks like they'll give us a true drop center.
Huge moment in this game. 1:51 to go. They have no timeouts. Rodgers going to flip it over to Gainwell. And that probably goes in the books as a running play. That was a backward
Schlesinger's hurt.
And he tried to get out of bounds, but didn't get there. Picks up only 2.
Did he get off the ground? I'm assuming so.
Schlesinger's hurt. You see him right here.
Yeah,
he got back up because they don't want to waste a timeout, but I think it would be worth it. Look, I would attack him right now.
2nd and 8. Right across the middle to go, and Valdez-Scantling. Did he hold on to it? They say it's a catch. They're going to mark him. It looks like about a yard short, setting up 3rd down.
He's the one I think has to have the big game today.
First catch by a wideout.
Yep. Metcalf, you got to snap this ball because it probably wasn't a catch.
Oh, here's Miles.
They're coming after him, and Gainwell picks up the first down.
Miles about a second away.
Aware that Garrett wants that record on him, and he is able to time it just right. And this
That's
was
catch.
the play before. It looked like he had a hand underneath it. First down from the 39. Clock running at 40 seconds. There's Gainwell. Again, there's Schlesinger.
I'll come up and clock it right now. Just get up and clock it.
Get Schlesinger off the fucking field. Yo.
Inside 30 seconds. And he does. Clock it at 26 seconds. We've had Myles Garrett threatening the last couple of plays.
The ball's getting out fast, too. See,
and very aware.
He's very aware of that. And I just feel like that's right here. Got him 12 men.
2nd and 10.
Ooh.
And the pass is caught.
There's a flag on the play.
And there's your penalty marker, Tony, that you foreshadowed.
He's telling the coaches, let me do this. Don't try and sub. I know what I'm doing.
He totally is doing it.
And this is Schlesinger still on the field. They threw it right over the top of him.
That pass went for 21 yards. We've actually seen a couple of times in recent weeks following the Steelers how there's been some of this communication.
What's the fucking flag? Come on, let's get to the flag.
Take control of it.
He has, and he was right each time. But yet, you know, you're looking down at...
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Offsides, lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. Defense had too many men on the field. Defense, correction. That penalty is also declined. Result of the play, first out.
Well, I want you to watch. I said I would attack him. He's hobbling. Can't quite
Get him off the fucking field.
Staying out on the field. I feel like once you have that, it's a perfectly thrown ball.
Yeah, he's still out there, Tony.
They should take him out. I mean, he's a warrior, but...
They reset the clock, add 4 seconds to 22 seconds with no timeouts.
Trying to get out of bounds. You still can throw this in bounds and get up and clock it.
From the Cleveland 28.
Look how wide Myles Garrett is.
Rodgers in trouble. Unloads it. And
Denzel Ward almost broke it.
Ward was in the area. Again, we got the Verizon halftime report coming up. All the crew on the early action.
This is very close now. If you throw the ball inbounds, you've got to go down. You're not trying to run around and go score because the clock will run out on you. You got to go down. You throw it inbounds, a slant, something over the middle. You get down, you come up and clock it, kick field goal.
17 seconds.
You'll have a chance over here. Something up into the middle.
That's Scotty Miller. And Rodgers again unhappy, frustrated.
Well, because he jumped off sides, he didn't want them to blow the whistle dead.
But he had a free play.
Correct.
Full start.
Ooh.
Offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, second down.
And that's why they blew it dead.
How many yards of the field goal?
I'm still looking for 52.
You're not going to find it. It's got to be Frazier right there, the center.
I mean, that's what you do on the road. I don't like that call.
2nd and 15. Still at 17 seconds. 51-yard field goal from here. Across the middle.
Now you got to get down.
That's Thielen. Now here comes the whole drill.
Yep, now you're
practicing
it
all the
4 seconds.
time.
3 seconds, yep.
You got plenty of time to get it done. And you're going to have now about a 41-yard field goal attempt from Boswell. That's a lot of years of experience at work right there.
That's a veteran who knew exactly what.
So they're going to get, if they make the field goal, they're going to be at 6 with the ball after half. So they'll feel pretty good about it.
Already good from 44. We'll call this 40. Kuntz to snap it back to Waitman and a timeout call by Cleveland. Remember, there was a bumpy moment on the previous field goal make, but they got it through. Waitman slipped through his hands. Conditions are better now.
I agree. Yep. Tracy had told us earlier it was a mist, and then all of a sudden it'd have a downpour at times, and it was very difficult to handle the football. But right now it looks good. See the wind though?
Yeah,
that's still there.
See it on the trousers of John Hussey. It's left to right wind. It was that left to right wind that helped
the kick.
The 44-yarder come drifting back in and through the uprights earlier in this quarter. Now to take it to the locker room at 10-6.
This is in that 40-yard territory, you said.
Yeah, it was 1 for 6 at Cleveland from 40+ in his career before today. This kid,
Wynn got it at the end,
drills it.
and it's right up the middle. All right, well, 6-10, and that's going to be important because the Steelers get the ball after halftime. So they get their first drive with the chance to take the lead if they score a touchdown by 3. I think the magic number for this game for both teams is going to be around 21 points. I think the first team to 21 points probably wins this game. The Browns obviously have a little bit of a head start there, right? They're closer to 21 than the Steelers, but I think that's ultimately going to be what it takes to win this game is 21 points. Been an interesting first half of this game. Pittsburgh, I feel truly has just been mind-bafflingly petty in this game. I think they have designed an entire game plan around avoiding Myles Garrett from getting a record, and it's hemorrhaging their offense. I mean, look how much better they moved the ball during that 2-minute drill compared to everything else they've been doing in that fucking offense all day. It's kind of baffling that they're still this afraid of Myles getting that sack on them. Like, at this point, Myles Garrett getting a sack is probably a better result for them than, you know, taking one-on-one deep shots to fucking Scotty Miller on 4th and 1, you know? So they have been playing a baffling game here, Pittsburgh. We'll see if they adjust that to coming out of this one. But yeah, they've been bafflingly bad on offense here, especially the offense that has been rolling up until this game here. Now, the last drive did a lot to even out some of the total numbers as the Browns offense cooled off and Pittsburgh's offense started to heat up a little bit. Total yards sit at 145, 210 Cleveland. It was sitting at like 210, 89 yards in favor of Cleveland. So that lead is coming back towards Pittsburgh. Passing yards, they have 72. Cleveland has 163. I think Shador, for the most part in this first half, has been pretty solid. A couple of really nice intermediate throws to Jerry Jeudy in this game for Shador. Playing in structure for the most part. When he's out of structures because of necessity. And whatever he's doing has felt in rhythm, except for like maybe the last couple of drives. Especially that last drive where he almost threw that pick 6 to Highsmith there. So, you know, definitely a strong first half for Shador, but it did start to come apart there at the end of the second half. We'll see what that looks like when we get into the third and fourth quarter. The Browns have had a couple of these games on offense where they start out in the first quarter is pretty solid, and then they dip into a lull in the second and third quarter, and then they wake up again in the fourth quarter. I wonder if that's going to be the case again today. We talked about Pittsburgh just kind of playing very, very scared football so far. Yeah, they're going to have to be more aggressive to win this game. I don't think they're going to be able to sit on their hands like they are right now and be able to win this game. Jerry Jeudy's had a nice game for the Browns, 5 of 6, 54 yards, no touchdowns yet, but he's been pretty productive. The Browns look like they lost Harold Fannin for the rest of this game. And I have to imagine the way that Carson Schlesinger looked at the end of the half, that he's probably not going to play for the rest of the game either. You know, those look like significant injuries there, like significant soft tissue injuries. With Carson Schlesinger, you worry that he re-aggravated that high ankle sprain because it looks like when he lands, he doesn't want to put any pressure on that ankle, which is why he keeps going to the ground. Drake May and the Patriots are absolutely beating the dog shit out the Jets. Goodness gracious. Good Lord. Oof. Just putting an ass whooping on them. 35-3. We'll check in with scores around the league in just a second here. But first, let me thank my sponsor, Sleeper. Sleeper is a all-in-one app to go for sports news, for fantasy football, for information, for picks. Everything that you would want to do there, you can do on the Sleeper app. It's one of just the best sports apps period. It's my favorite sports app to use. It's my go-to sports app for anything where I'm checking for like game times, what channels games are on, checking in on how games are going. I like to go and use the Sleeper app for that. Sleeper also has picks. You get 100% match on $100 on up to $100 when you use the promo code Worst Take. Check out Sleeper. Chris Gustafaro says, I think Shador has at least a battle with the first round quarterback next year. We'll see. We will see. If the Browns draft a quarterback in the first round, I'm just going to be honest with you. That quarterback competition is not really be a quarterback competition. It's going to be a whenever they want to play that quarterback that they draft in the first round competition. So, yeah, I don't think if we want to avoid people like falling into the same trap they did last offseason where people are like, oh, it's going to be a fair competition. Everybody's going to get a shot. Let's be real. If they draft a quarterback in the first round, that quarterback's not really in the competition. It's more of a question of when that quarterback's going to play, not if, So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We got a long off season. I mean, like the draft, even like if the Browns secure the pick, right? We won't know what this team looks like with that pick in mind until maybe the end of March. Right now, we haven't even started the month of January. So we're a whole business quarter away from even knowing what the Browns are going to be in position to do and what they're positioning themselves to do. So I wouldn't get too far ahead of myself talking about what's going to happen next August either. By the way, I'm getting absolutely like brutalized in fantasy football because I hung on to Jamar Chase and Derrick Henry for so fucking long, and then I gave up on them, and I traded both of them. I think both of them are in my league's fantasy championship game. It's just pain, dog. I hate fantasy football. It's just pain. There's nothing but pain. There's no joy in fantasy football. There's no joy. Yeah, but right now, if you're looking for keys for the second half, Cleveland has to play clean football. That's what they've struggled to do all year. Luckily for Cleveland, they have not been capitalized upon, right? The 4th and 7, go for it. They go for it. They turn it over on downs. Pittsburgh doesn't capitalize on it. And the interception, Pittsburgh doesn't capitalize on. So luckily for Cleveland, right, that Pittsburgh hasn't been as opportunistic as they usually are. But they gotta limit. They gotta play clean football for the last 30 minutes of this game at the very least to have a chance to win it. And even then, right, they're kind of in a spot where they could play clean football, still lose. So yeah, the clean football thing still very important for Cleveland. That's going to be the key for them to win. And that's going to be very difficult for them because they're a young football team and they're getting younger because some of these young guys are getting injured and being replaced with more inexperienced players. So we'll see. For Pittsburgh, it's just like, at some point, play fucking football on offense, right? Like if they're going to play this terrified of Miles, they're going to handcuff themselves for the rest of the game. I'm going to use the restroom and then we'll probably continue the second half. right, we're back. Looks like the second half's about to start here. We got any injury updates?
10-6, Cleveland about to kick to Pittsburgh to start the third quarter. Each team with a
Big defensive possession here for Cleveland, right? If you get this stop, you pretty much neutralize their middle-weight advantage here.
due to come back and win this game today.
It starts on this first drive. They've got to come out and impose their will a little bit. They're running the ball pretty good. I would stick with that a little bit, but they got to create one of those shot plays, like one of the ones down the field. They're playing man-to-man coverage. They got a guy in front of them, no safety help. Somebody's got to step up with DK Metcalf and Austin out. Otherwise, they're going to lose this football game.
Well, the question is, who do they have to be able to create one of those shot plays? I know Valdez-Scantling.
He's the one.
Yeah, can certainly be a part of a deep ball. As Warren stumbles, tripped up on the 20-yard line. And the line just jumped up and got him. Tracy earlier caught up with Kevin Stefanski.
Besides that one interception by Shador, how would you assess that first half by him?
He's doing a really good job. I love how he's moving in the pocket. He's finding throws down the field, particularly to Jerry. I thought it was a really good first half. We got unlucky there on that interception, tip ball, but we just got to possess that ball and find ways to get in this end zone.
In terms of Myles Garrett, you can see the impact because Aaron is trying to avoid him at all costs. What more do you need to see defensively?
You know, we just got to do our job. That's a really good outfit over there. They know what they're doing. We got to do a great job versus the run in the second half, and then obviously when the opportunities present ourselves, we got to go make a play.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
Tracy.
First play is a little toss. And it's to Jonnu Smith. Comes out of the backfield. The tight end picks up.
I had to get like 8 on the first down there. It's not good.
Coming back after the break was just got to run the football. We've had some success with that. That is one area you can get Cleveland out on the edge, quick hitters up the middle, and then are they going to be able to create that one shot play down the sideline? I do think it is MVS. Arthur Smith, he understands that.
Comes up with a little play with Smith on the first snap of the quarter. Schlesinger, by the way.
Schlesinger's still out there.
He's still out there, right in the middle. 2nd and 3.
Ooh, good spin move by Warren.
Out of the tackle and get to the 40 and a first.
This rushing game continues from last week, Jim.
They ran right at him here, Tony.
He is a heat-seeking missile, and right now, he cannot move.
Yeah, Shelby Harris got beat there on the interior.
Consistently. I was so impressed putting it on, and right now I would continue to attack him.
That was McCormick who threw a great block on him.
He's going to be one of the best linebackers in the league over the next 3-4 years. Watch his development. But right now he's playing through something impressive, right? With nothing on the line for them, technically.
Can't take him off the field. 1st and 10. Rodgers in trouble.
Oh, wow.
Last moment, again refusing a sack. And it ends up somehow.
Did that get popped out of his hands?
He got hit by Delpit, but he didn't know who was behind him. It was Delpit.
So this is actually like a sack that's a fumble almost, because I don't think he was throwing it. He just gets hit, and the ball goes forward.
It's a sack.
That would have been interesting if that would have been Garrett. See how they would have called that. But fortunate that this ball was right into the hands of your teammate.
They put it down as a pass play. None of that does go down as a sack. Okay, here is the...
Ooh, oh, fumble. The Browns have it.
And who grabbed it back?
Oh, it looks like MVS got it.
Says, hey,
second missed fumble opportunity there.
Come out.
Definitely a fumble.
And then he goes, wait, give it. Wow. Oh, that's so close.
Pulls it back in at the last second.
You can see how that football has been very slippery today.
So
big third down here.
And again, the previous play, they did officially call it a sack for Delpit.
That's what I said. It would have been interesting if that would have been Garrett.
2 for 8 on 3rd.
Here comes Miles. Oh! That's going to be his best shot.
Thielen looking for that flag.
Oh, he was right there. Just got pushed off track a little bit.
A little bit more, but this is Garrett on the outside. Watch him turn the corner.
Oh. Oh, Oh, he just got pushed out by the grass. They get the stop, though. That's a big thing.
And he's actually done all right.
He went for the swipe there.
With all those injuries at left tackle, he's done a fine job. As Waitman sends it down the way. 1 first down picked up on that opening series of the third quarter. Fair caught.
Browns got to be careful here with the ball backed up this far. It's got to be careful, take care of the football here. I expect them to come out running the ball. Buckeye Steve says, coming into the stream late, so you may have addressed this already, but it seems like the Steelers' offensive game plan is don't let Miles get the record. And they're suffering from it. Oh, yeah, absolutely has been addressed. You are correct, and that has been addressed. Tomlin, Black Magic working hard to save Pittsburgh here. I mean, they still had to punt on that opening drive. I mean, it's a big loss for them, right? Like they set up everything that they did there in that last 3 minutes of the game was to try to get that opportunity, and they end up getting nothing from that opportunity other than like maybe some positive field position on defense. So like if the Browns get the ball out the 25, out the 30 here and break that field position, then everything that they did in that last 3 minutes is for nothing. This game is a prime example of why Miles may not show up in the stat line, but how important he is. Yeah. I talk about this all the time. Miles has more impact than like 90% of edge rushers just by existing, because teams will just be afraid to do anything that could give him opportunities, right? Like he cuts out a lot of your playbook from the jump because he's Myles Garrett, you know? Even if he doesn't get a sack in a game, he has more impact than most edge rushers are able to create.
New Year's Eve, spend the night with CBS. Join host Bert Kreischer and Hardy as they celebrate with today's top country artists. New Year's Eve live, Nashville's Big Bash on CBS.
All right, let's be smart here with the football.
First to 10 with this lead of 10-6, all 10 coming in the first quarter. There's Sanders. Rocket
Good run.
Sanders fighting for every edge. Got about 5 as we send it down to the sideline. Tracy, all yours.
Jim, just an update on rookie tight end Harold Fannin Jr. He is officially out with that groin injury. He re-injured in the first half. And one update on Carson Schweitzinger. You mentioned he's been struggling all game long with that right thigh injury. Came out of the locker room, tested it out, turned to the trainers and just said, it's good enough. He's going to play through it despite struggling with it right now.
He's good enough. Okay. Yeah, we saw him out there as they were able to take the Steelers off the field. Their first series of the third quarter, and that's
Hey, big run here. There's a flag.
Sanders took it to the 31.
If it's not on Cleveland, then that pretty much destroys all the work Pittsburgh's done the last 6 minutes, but it is on Cleveland. And that's going to push the Browns back to like the 5.
Wipes out a 12-yard run.
Well, this is Highsmith has been outstanding in this football game. Just take a look. And right here, he's going to try and shed the block and reach under. And he's created 5 pressures.
Yeah, there it is.
He's been as impactful as anyone today, Jim. The last 2 weeks, impressive by Highsmith. And I think Cam Robinson's been pretty good. I mean, they got him in the trade. He's done a good job this year. This guy has wrecked the game so far.
2nd and 14, back near the 9.
Let's be smart. Get rid of it.
In trouble. Pressure was coming. by Hayward.
We're going to get a flag.
And Hayward is furious.
Full body weight. They're going to say full body weight. I believe that's the first time that's ever been called for Shedeur.
Well, Hayward comes in.
Full body weight here. He doesn't make an attempt to roll off of him at all.
Pull up your body weight, they say. I mean, he does an outstanding job pressure. He's been playing great, but right here, tries to kind of let up. They're supposed to.
Yeah, takes the hand off to try to make sure it doesn't get flagged for.
That's close. I mean, like, the football guy in me says that shouldn't be a penalty because I'd be pissed if that happened to the Browns. But
Well, Jim, I think that actually is one of those really close calls, but you got to try and let up a little early there.
1st and 10, we lost the signal. We'll hear from Gene in a moment. Here's the pass play to Sampson for about a yard. Gene, let's get your take on that.
A little technical issue, but I think they're always going to protect the quarterback, and Shedeur trying to get that ball out. Just need to get through his progressions faster.
What did you think?
Just barely. I feel like he had a guy open on the outside, hung on the receiver too long, but to get rid of the ball, good. However, they're going to call that, especially with a guy of that size. Right. But you did see from the other angle, he tried to move his arms off. But to me,
well, you got a Cam off the field here. You might be able to run.
Get that call more often than not.
You get a little space here, but Peyton fills. Yaya Black recovers for him. All right, 3rd and 6.
We're talking about what Pittsburgh needs to do this half. How about for Cleveland to pull off the upset?
I think it's going to be right here. Shedeur, on these 3rd down and mediums, 3rd and long, it's tough. But on these right here, you have the opportunity. Right now, he's at 50% today. And that's really been a little bit of the difference, whereas Rodgers is 2 for 9 on 3rd down, missing on these down the field throws. But it's going to be the
so they got Ramsey covering the slot here. And
on 3rd, he's changing the protection. They're going to it. Here we go.
Can he trust his eyes? Goes off his back foot.
Good job.
Makes it. Got the 1st down. That's Canelo with the catch. Again, fresh off the practice squad. Makes his first catch
Good
of the
job.
season, and Shedeur was able to get it away with Queen coming right in on him.
It's just an outstanding job because it's not really a route. You're going to chip first and then run this, and he knows when he gets flashes of somebody in your face.
Way to stay in there, too.
Right there, he's like, oh, Queen's coming at me. Who do I go to? He knew where to go with the ball if someone was coming free. High-level quarterback play there.
Williams, the running back. An impressive 4 out of 7 now on 3rd down is Cleveland.
And you're not exactly thinking that's the guy I'm throwing to right away, although he did.
Got to get this off now.
Last week.
Too much time.
Highsmith again,
waiting for him.
Can't get that ball off that late in the clock against the defensive line to jump.
Now again, their season hangs.
It's on the line.
Result of this
it's
one right
real.
here.
It's actually real. The season is on the line for real here. They got to be at least, the nervous energy when you're watching it. But you said you're a Baltimore Raven fan or player. You're up 10-6. Cleveland's up 10-6, and they got the ball. You'd be excited, right?
Yep. Great job last night again by John Harbaugh. Yep. Snoop Huntley and Derrick Henry.
False start. Yeah, they finally fucking called it on Cam. He's been doing it all game. He's been false starting all game.
False start. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty.
He's been getting away with it all fucking game.
Do you want to know why this false start happens? Because Highsmith's right there. And he's already generated. Nah,
Cam's been doing that all game, man.
Pressure's disrupted this game over and over again, so you want to get your kick step and get out of there really fast. It's a byproduct of Highsmith.
2nd penalty on Robinson this series. 2 of the 4 flags on Cleveland today. Halfway through the 3rd quarter. And you got 2nd and long. And you got pressure. And
he's going to get away from it. Nope.
Gets taken down by who else? Highsmith from behind.
Well, we've been calling his name. He's been so disruptive. He reads it, comes down the line, and then turns on the Jets.
He's got some speed. Look,
he does.
He chases down the quarterback.
I just want you to watch. This is very difficult for young quarterbacks. You got a guy down here guarding someone, right? Nope, he's going to go back and play cover 2, and it makes the eye start in the wrong spot. Confusing young quarterbacks all the time, this system, and it gets Shador there. Be smart on this one if you're Shador. Don't try and be too aggressive. If it gets there, throw it under the sticks.
3rd and 15, tosses it back to Sampson, and waiting for him is Wilson, and the Browns series comes to an end.
Some promise, but again, penalties, not playing clean football gets in the way of the Browns here.
And Shador, you can't.
They're giving Pittsburgh a lot of opportunities to score here. It's a very familiar place the Browns have been in all season.
Trying to carry the Steelers into the playoffs with a division title with a win today. Bojorquez, 1 punt in the first half, 57 yards.
Off the side of his foot.
This one bouncing around near the 30 and travels just outside the 20.
Nothing easy today.
A 10-6 game it is. Rodgers trailing here in the 3rd quarter with 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, this is a very familiar place we've been at all year with these games where the Browns are either within striking distance. Sometimes we have the lead. We're in that 2nd and 3rd quarter area. The offense is starting to stall out, and we're starting to realize, hey, we're giving the other team a lot of opportunities to either blow this one apart or to take the lead here. They gotta make it different if they want to win. Yeah, Chris Gustafaro says, can't wait to see how Andrew Berry rebuilds his offensive line. Yeah, last time they did it, it worked out pretty well in 2020. So hopefully we get that same result here in 2026. But there's no doubt there's going to have to be massive changes to this offensive line. They've kicked that can down the road far enough. How in the world? Nah. Hold on. I got to pull this up on the computer. The hell have we tried like 6 left tackles over 2 years? They've all been horrible. Because like all 6 of the left tackles we've tried have been like guys you can get for under $3 million. You know what I mean? Like when you're trying, it don't matter how many $3 million tackles you try. They're all probably going to be pretty bad. You know what I mean? It's like, how do I always end up with a car that doesn't start, but you're paying like $1,000 for a fucking car? It's like, yeah, that's probably the issue. You haven't invested anything in the position. Ed Blue says fair or foul, new coach, new quarterback if Stefanski standards. I don't think it's that simple. I don't think it's that simple.
On first down, here's Warren.
Good job by Mason there.
Quickly by Graham. What's going on up in Indianapolis between the Jags and the Colts? Here's Adam Shine.
Jim, Tony, the Jaguars take the...
No way Romo said that Robinson's been good. Hey, man, Romo's been saying a lot of shit during this game, and I'm just like, man.
In a hard-fought game right now, though, against the Colts. Here in Cleveland.
It's so wide open. It's incredible.
2nd and 7. Garrett at the top, really wide. As Rodgers goes away from that side to Valdez-Scantling for a first down.
Who's the guy that has to make the
face mask?
Second half?
Well, they threw a flag out, Tony, at the end of this. After the catch, after the tackle.
Feels like a face mask.
Pivotal.
I think he has to be the guy. Of all the guys, I think Thielen will make a catch. I think a few other guys, but I think at the end of the day, MVS is going to have to create a few plays in the second half and make the difference if Pittsburgh, is going to win this game.
There's no foul on the play as he grabbed the shoulder.
Good. Clearly missing Fannin. Hey, yeah, he's the whole fucking offense.
No, he didn't do it.
Appreciate the super chat, Alex.
Looking at that Jacksonville highlight a moment ago.
He is the whole offense.
Right now, there are 8 teams between the two conferences.
I don't know, does it? Like, I'm gonna disagree with you. He can outrun some people. Like, I thought Shador was slow, like not fast as far as like running too, but nah, he's done enough over the last 6 weeks to let me give him some leeway when it comes to trying to be athletic. Like, I don't think he's as slow as Malay. Oh, Miles! Oh.
Just coming in. And Smith. Catch.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think you're not giving Shador enough credit there as an athlete. I think he's earned some credit there. I'm gonna be honest with you. Maker says Caden Proctor at Alabama will solve our left tackle issues. I'm gonna be honest with you. Caden Proctor hasn't consistently solved Alabama's left tackle issues.
Or a few times.
He is too.
Not today. I'm going to try.
We'll see who's smiling at the end. 2nd and 7. Quickly, across the middle, Jonnu Smith should have the first down.
Quietly, Pittsburgh's offense is back in rhythm here.
What would the postseason mean for Aaron Rodgers? Got the first at age 42 to take this franchise to the postseason.
It would mean everything. That's why you continue to play. I mean, after the last 2 years, I think he wanted to show people, you forget who I am?
Yeah. He told us, too, yesterday, just wanted to recapture the enjoyment and love of the game. Loves his teammates.
And he said he has.
1st and 10. Inside give, Smith. Ward and others waiting for him after a couple.
Normally a good play, but Jim Schwartz has switched it up today. A little more zone, a little more eyes on the quarterback. These linebackers, safeties flow over. This unit is tough, and you do not want to play this defense in Cleveland. The record doesn't show it, but they are really good. I promise you, this defensive side of the ball.
They've only allowed 186 yards today. As you see on the left of your screen, Garrett on 2nd and 8.
Aaron's able to talk, though. He could get you.
Oh, good jump by.
Handoff. And it's Gainwell. It's going to be 3rd.
That was weird.
And about 4 as we're getting late into the 3rd quarter. No scoring in the second half thus far.
Yeah, Cleveland, the D-line has done a good job of adjusting. This is a attack-style defense. They go at the quarterback, hit the running back.
So Huntington and Hall off the field. Shelby and Alex Wright onto the field.
Come off. Now they're going to be attacking, though, I promise you.
This is a situation, 3rd and 5, where in recent weeks they've been found Darnell Washington in many of these situations, but again, he's out for the game.
That's their top 3 targets, basically, other than Gainwell.
3rd and 5, got to get a first at the 47 of Cleveland. Pressure, pass, quick, caught. Diving catch it is by Scotty Miller. And they'll move the chains. 8 yards on that pass play.
2 minutes left in the quarter here.
They tried to trick him right here. You see, Schwessinger's going to pretend to go back, and then he blitzes, and Rodgers catches it.
Yeah, maybe if Schlesinger doesn't have a rolled ankle or wherever the fuck he's playing on, he's able to get there in time to disrupt that lane, but he's just not right now. He's not Carson Schlesinger right now, you know?
Miller showing a little appreciation for his as they convert. 1st and 10.
Get back to the simple tosses, yep.
Gainwell. Baker was holding on to him. And they keep it to about a three-yard rush.
I am impressed. Kevin Stefanski, Jim Schwartz, they're 3-12. But when you turn the tape on, Jim, they play so hard. It's not like a team who's given up, ready to go on vacation. It's as if they're competing for the division title. I give that credit to the top of the organization, the coaches in charge. It's impressive. That's rare.
That third down conversion, by the way, to Scotty Miller was the first conversion on third down past a 3rd and 1.
Yeah. 3 for 10 only.
No Garrett on the field. 2nd and 6. As Warren is able to break through with a good-sized gain to the 27. That goes for 13 and a first.
It's a good job by the interior, the offensive line, the combo block.
Yeah, they had to take Miles off the field here, so it's going to be. This is where Pittsburgh's probably going to be their most willing to be aggressive is these next 2 plays while Miles takes his breather.
Right.
Or they won't get another one. I would have took, if I were Pittsburgh, I would have tried to take another play there while Miles is definitely not on the field. Because you get this quarter break, he's probably going to show up again, right? I would have tried to get another play off if I were them, but they did not try to do that. So, good. So this is Pittsburgh threatening here to score for the first time this half. But the Browns get the quarter break here, which means Miles probably going to be back on the field. Which that last run was with Miles off. We are going to see what's going to happen soon here. What? I always hate when we get the Romo and Nance game because we go from having like pretty light commercial breaks to getting like a 5-minute commercial break in between quarters, man. Like it's
Great to have you back here at Huntington Bank Field, which opened in 1999. The first game in this stadium, Bill Cowher, Steelers against the born-again Browns. And the Steelers, again, had the football for a long time, methodically moving down the field, trying to take the lead for the first time today with a touchdown if they can put it all together.
You got big personnel in.
Myles Garrett is back on the field.
Hand off to Warren. And all that extra beef on the line doesn't help out on this particular carry for no gain. You had said to me at halftime, if the Browns can score twice in the second half, they'll win the game. And you weren't talking just touchdowns, Tony. You thought this was going to be, again, one of these games where it's going to be low scoring and tight, and every little moment on the board can make a difference. And that's looking prophetic.
I completely agree. And each possession matters so much right now. And This is the game. Pittsburgh to go to the playoffs, eating away.
Good job by Tyson Campbell.
Campbell, pile drive him back. Tyson Campbell, the former Jaguar, produces a 3-yard tackle for a loss.
The two standouts today, Campbell on defense for Cleveland has been incredible. Giving no separation in route running and then coming up, fitting the wide receiver screen quickly. And then on the other side, Highsmith. They've been the difference makers.
Rodgers can only shake his head on that play that went for the loss, but it's a 3rd and 13.
And they're moving Myles Garrett inside, switching up. He's now at the defensive tackle position.
Back goes Rodgers, in trouble, and he's sacked from behind.
It's Alex Wright, though.
It is a sack by 91 Alex Wright.
That's going to take him out of range, isn't it?
Your best chance because you know the quarterback has to hold the ball, and they decide to try and chip on the left side, which is why you move Garrett inside. And then you allocate all the guys, 3 guys basically to him, and that's why Wright gets the one-on-one opportunity and finishes it off.
This crowd thought that was Myles Garrett, but it was Alex Wright with...
Yeah, Boz is good. I don't know if Boz is this good.
4 yards by Boz.
And that's not going to make it, no.
And it's wide of the mark.
And somewhere in Baltimore, they're cheering.
I'm going to say something I haven't said all year. Pittsburgh is really playing with fire here. Cleveland is not playing with fire as much as Pittsburgh is. Pittsburgh playing with fire here, right? The Browns could put this game away with maybe like a touchdown. It feels like that would put it away. The way that Pittsburgh's been playing on offense, they're playing with fire. Yeah, Boz is good. He's not 54-yard field goal in a wet field. Fucking crazy winds good. Like, that's insane. I don't know why they went for that. They should have just punted. Especially like when the benefit of kicking that field goal is what you're down 1 point instead of 4. You know, I guess if you're trying to win the game off field goals, then maybe, but that's just should have probably just punted. If we get a touchdown, that'll probably force the Steelers to pass more if they want to win. Just want good things for Myles. I am gambling my life away with my house and cat. Okay, I don't know what's going on with you, Dead Sea Saudi. But if we get a touchdown, probably force them into the, yeah. He played the win, and it worked for the first 2. It didn't even move. Somewhere Phil Dawson is saying, I feel your pain, man. Yeah. I mean, he should have just kicked a straight ball, but hindsight's always 20/20 when it comes to kicking a field goal, right?
Held the football for 8 minutes and 7 seconds and did not score. And talk about field position. The ball belongs to Cleveland at the 44-yard line after the long-range miss by Boswell.
And he's missed a few here. He's talked about it multiple times today. It's a tough stadium.
And
Particularly for him.
Formerly in the backfield, gets the handle, and they whistle the play dead. How about this series coming up after you've been on the sideline for a while?
Start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Hit time on Joel.
That's the veteran, Antonio. But this drive, to your point, is this is it right here. With the way the defense is playing, And with the injuries on the offensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh, having 3 of their top 4 targets out, at this point, I think Cleveland can go win the game with a touchdown. Which is why I'd be aggressive in my play calling.
1st and 15. You're going to move Rocket Sanders.
Really don't want to take a sack here.
Work inside.
And they throw it. Sanders to Sanders. And still not down. Hayward finally is the one who finishes it off.
Let me get some yards back.
Stefanski tell us about Raheem Sanders. He said he looks like an old-fashioned running back.
Picks up 10.
Yep.
I mean, you can see he's hard to bring down. He's got a little bit of wiggle to him, but he's that physical back. You'll see him in short yardages going forward this year and into next year, I believe. And by the way, he went out and played wide receiver right there and ran an under route. Huge play.
2nd and 5.
What is
Taken to the line, buying time, heaving at desperation throw.
picked off?
Not a good one at all. Intercepted by Tucker.
Well, you absolutely could not have that. I mean,
He's made in his young career is young, but you can't.
that's not even excusable by being young, man. That's just a fucking terrible decision.
What is your emergency?
Just send the police.
You can't throw a goddamn jump ball in that situation. I mean, come on. That was the easiest interception that DB's ever fucking had in their life. In the 4th quarter of this game, at that moment, you can't have that. And that's why I'm in the middle on him. Yeah, he's done that a couple of times where it's just you got the lead and there's a couple of inexplicable interceptions there. You can add that to the pile of them. Yeah, this is there's really no excusing that interception. I don't really see an excuse being available for that interception. If you're Shador, all you can really focus on is just getting the next out, hoping you get another opportunity, and then just doing something with that opportunity, right? Like that's what you have to focus on if you're Shador. There's no making that individual throw better. You can just make a better throw on your next attempt, you know? Soon as 12 makes me feel good about him being the starter. He reminds me that we're drafting a QB no matter what. From Brendan Crow, my bad. I've seen enough. I'm done. He can't do that. He's been doing that since he's been the starter. Yeah, there's been that. There's a whole quarter left, so let's give him the rest of the game here, you know.
Today of Sanders. Here's Gainwell. They have it first, but he's able to break away and finally shoved out of bounds after a play of about 13.
It all started with the interception here. Just, you can't roll right, throw back, throw a high ball. And Deion knows, he's like, son, no, you gotta live to fight another day.
The agony of a parent, especially when that parent is one of the greats of the game and a Hall of Famer. 17 yards passing in the second. It feels like Pittsburgh's been on the field with the ball most of this half.
I mean, those plays, right? He shows all the good stuff, and then it can hurt you with that, and it's like, just throw the ball away. Got a long game.
Over to Miller. Campbell has that side locked down. Holds him to 1.
But he's still going to have an opportunity, regardless of what happens on this. You know, these games are long. They're not short. And as a quarterback, you got to understand that and how you manage it internally. You're like right there. He knows.
Can't wait to see how that'll be Judy's fault, too.
There. Plenty of quarterbacks. But when you get the ball back, no matter what happens here, you have a chance to go win the game. And honestly, even if you're up by 4, you still have a chance to win the game.
You got to let go of it somehow. Look how wide Garrett is here on 2nd and 9.
Oh.
Smith.
But they're going to force it to a
Comes in to make sure he stays short.
3rd down here.
You got 3rd and 1.
Great job by Jenkins flying on the ball, almost getting his hand there. But that ball was precise. You see Rodgers' ability to throw in these conditions still precisely. Monster 3rd and 1 here. You got to expect 4 down territory. He's going to change the play to a quick hitter inside. Just a quick run right up the middle.
You may have heard him change the play last week. Great clip where he got Gainwell on a go pattern for a touchdown. But Detroit 3rd and 1. He hands it off to Gainwell, and the play is brought to a halt. We'll back up the Steelers 5 yards.
False start.
It's huge.
5-yard penalty.
That's huge.
3rd down.
That's 3rd and 6.
And Dylan Cook just goes a little early on the left side right here. Right there. And that's why when you go from shotgun to under center, you're not having a cadence like Danny Weiss said. You're tapping the center and moving. It's hard on the offensive tackles.
I'll tell you, Rodgers, facially, he gives you the best cutaways in football. You know exactly how he feels. 3rd and 6.
Here comes. Here comes.
And the pass is incomplete.
They got the punt.
Firemouth was in the area.
If he decides to hold this ball and not throw it away, that's a sack.
He's going right
That
there.
was the record.
Yep.
You'll see Garrett come off the edge, and he's any other game, there's a chance Rodgers holds that ball for another half a second. But he basically threw it away, avoiding the record.
But what a stop by the Cleveland defense of Jim Schwartz.
Exactly right. They've been outstanding with it.
Waitman 3 times has pinned Cleveland inside the 20. Should have a great chance to do it here for a 4th time. And that's what he
I haven't had a special teams mess up all game.
Barbadan secures it after the 35-yard move.
Look, if you're Shador, you have 2 interceptions here, but both of those interceptions have been negated by the defense. Just don't make it 3, right? Like, you got bailed out there by a big time. That was a bad interception, right? But even the other interception, which wasn't really on him, happened in Pittsburgh scoring territory, right? So Pittsburgh has just been very inefficient scoring the football today. The Browns defense has done a great job. They're giving you a huge cushion in this game here to be able to win with. So if you're Shador, like, yeah, you got 2. Just don't make it 3. You can get away with 2 interceptions in this game. I don't think you can get away with 3, but 2 you can. Like, if you're Cleveland, the last thing you need to do is give them the points on offense, right? Like, just Pittsburgh just does not seem capable of scoring points right now. You throw a pick 6, that's devastating.
Greatest adventure on television. Never done a season like this.
Feels a little like a high school reunion meets like a massacre.
Premieres February 25th on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. All State, you're in good hands. And by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Sanders and the Browns going to try to shake off that last mistake as they take over at the 12-yard line, holding that lead, having scored all 10 of their points in the first quarter.
Come out and make it simple on Shador. Yep.
Go to Sampson.
Uh-oh.
Look at Sampson, Dylan Sampson.
Ah.
The flag is back at the 16-yard line, and the Steelers defense is pointing that it's against the Browns. Will it negate the 25-yard run?
Wow, that's a monster play. It's coming back, and you made it easy on your quarterback.
Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Does that put it all the way at the 1?
The run's going right at him, and Patrick Queen comes flying in. And you'll see right here, just got to let him go, but it's at the point of attack right here. Just let it go right when the ball carries there.
Yeah.
I mean,
clearly a hold.
Yes, but also clearly what they do on every play. It's just when the ball runs right past you.
They're going to see it.
There's a timing element to letting that go.
It was a spot foul, so it's a 1st and 15, and they're backtracking to the 6-yard line.
Now it's tougher because you're coming off the interception. You try to make it easy on your quarterback, give him something where you just calm everything down, and now you back him up into his end zone. Tougher.
Goes back to the other side.
Space.
Sampson and Ramsey, one of those in on the tackle along with Wilson. By the way, Wednesday on CBS, Arizona State and Duke meet in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl down in El Paso. The longtime partnership between CBS and Sun Bowl continues. Coverage at 2 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. And our best wishes to Gary Danielson, his final show of his remarkable career.
I'll tell you what, he's one of the best, my favorite bowl games. Tony the Tiger. And to Gary, what a career. We said it last week. You're the best.
What a pro. What an honor to be his teammate. 2nd and 10.
Oh, boy. Got rid of it. Thank goodness.
Sampson picks up a yard. That's all. We're going to have a 3rd and 9 coming up. That was Porter blitzing and Duggar with the tackle.
You'll see a overload blitz from the left side. Good job by Shador to actually recognize it before he gets home. But watch, he's going to come down, but they're going to overload this side. So you got a corner coming down, and they've had this multiple times where they're saying, we know you're going to throw the ball if you can get there, and we're going to have a guy flying down to a cover 2, we call it, safety help. Good job by Pittsburgh today on those.
If you don't convert here, you're probably looking at giving Pittsburgh the ball back near midfield. 3rd and 9.
Here's the play.
Can they make a move to get there? No, Pittsburgh's all over him. Now it's Canella with his second.
Gonna need a good punt here from Bojorquez.
This is good quarterback play. I know it's first down, but you have a free rusher. They rush 5 guys, and they basically run a stunt. And you've got internal pressure right at you. You've got to figure out somewhere to go. At least gave his team a chance.
Hey, special teams have been a nightmare for the Browns this year. They've given up 3 touchdowns, either kick return or punt return. They've had 2 punts blocked. So this is a danger point right here.
Danger, Will Robinson. Here we go. Did you call it?
Marquez, no pressure.
All free.
They had the safe punt up.
Yeah, and a long
And a good punt.
driving punt back to the 20. It was deep. Scotty Miller on the run back. 64-yard punt, but a good return.
You called it. There is
24-yard return.
Too much.
I thought Pittsburgh maybe could have got caught for a hold there on number 21. Looked like there might have been a hold there. All right, well, Pittsburgh's got to score now, and 7:03 left. There's not much time left in this game. Yeah, so this drive right here, hugely important. Will it be the sack? Will it be Pittsburgh putting together a drive here? There's been a couple of times this half where it felt like they've put together the rhythm they've needed to score, and then they just stall out here. All right. This game has definitely been interesting. At least it's been that, you know.
Seven minutes to go. 7 minutes that could decide the season.
This is why you go get Aaron Rodgers, Jim. These moments, they've not had this in a while around in Pittsburgh, and now you've got an opportunity to go win the division, send your team to the playoffs.
They've been held to 2 field goals today. Here's the give to Warren as he still chugs along for 7 or 8. Baker on him, Bush as well. Next Sunday, we don't know the game lineup yet. That Week 18 doubleheader's coming your way. And we'll have, of course, the NFL Today leading us off noon Eastern. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Week 18 straight ahead. What will be meaningful? This game will certainly have a lot to say as far as that goes. Again, with a win, clinch the title. With a loss next week, for it all. Garrett lined up on the near side on 2nd and 3. They toss it to the other side from him, and Warren's going to get
all right, 3rd down.
Yard by Delpit, the Walter Payton Man of the Year honoree here in Cleveland.
Of course, it's got to come to a 3rd and 4 and watch. They line up in there. Everyone knows the responsibility. So well coached, this Cleveland defense. Schwartzy, as good as it gets. 3rd and 4 is what you'd expect out of a Cleveland-Pittsburgh game in Cleveland, where Pittsburgh has not won the last 3 games.
This would be a huge time for Miles to get that sack record.
Since 2017. There's a tie in there one year.
You got your opportunities outside. I kept saying MVS has to come up.
Gainwell tracked down. How about Alex Wright? He got the big sack on the last series, and now he makes the
4th and 5, and they're going to punt.
If this isn't a Schwartz defense, I don't know what is. You got a wide 9. Watch the explosiveness of the edge rushers. He just shoots the gap inside, disrupts everything. He's not reading anything. He's heading to the quarterback, and you get the running back along the way. How challenging is this back for this Steelers offense? And there he is.
Pittsburgh's going to punt.
Great Jim Schwartz.
Some might have thought, is it 4-down territory yet? No, they want to take their chances with their defense and a rookie quarterback on the other side. Here's the Waitman punt, and it's caught for the fair catch at the 10-yard line. 43-yard boot and a good one. Inside 5.
Back at the 10.
Introducing Subway's new Sub Club. Now members get every 4th foot loan free.
4th foot loans free. Fix my fibula later.
So if Mike Tomlin has any home run balls to call defensively, he's probably going to use them in this drive. So I wonder how Tommy Reese caused this offense with that in mind. Like, are they going to call afraid of it, or are they going to attack it? Yo, I think they should attack it, because being afraid is just going to give Pittsburgh another chance at the ball here. Ray Rag says, give this defense at least a competent offense next year, please. Yeah, Miles is going to obliterate whatever he ends up with this year if he gets a competent offense next year. I wonder if we do the double end around. We haven't done an end around all game. I wonder if we call the Malachi Corley play. This feels like that's what they're going to go to. Right? They haven't called it all game. Pittsburgh's going to be extra aggressive. Maybe they're thinking they can hit him with the dend around or maybe the Isaiah Bond variant of it.
Back in Cleveland, we have not had any scoring in this second half, Tony, and now this is such a pivotal series coming up for Cleveland and the Pittsburgh defense.
To say the least, I mean, I feel like this game has literally been that kind of game where you're like, this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out kind of fight, and it's turned into that, but it's always going to be about the quarterback who creates the play late in the game. Shedeur started off on fire, kind of like got figured out a little bit by Pittsburgh, and now he's got to create a play, but now it's Aaron Rodgers' time. He's going to have to create a shot downfield. Aaron will, but Shedeur can go win this game with a drive right here. He had an opportunity last week. I think you learn through these experiences, Jim. Now he's got another opportunity this week.
A rookie going against a 21-year veteran in the quarterback matchup. On first down, they go to Sampson.
Good cut.
Reverse field. Kept his balance for about 3. Tracy.
Jim, the Browns have had 9 different starting offensive line combinations. Add another one today. You'll see a right guard. Zach Zinter has been playing the last few drives. That's because Wyatt Teller's still dealing with that calf injury. He was rotating with Tevin Jenkins, and now Tevin Jenkins is in the locker room out with a concussion.
Wow, that makes things very difficult, especially when you have Hayward, Harmon, their first-round pick. Benton's been playing better. I mean, this is going to fall on Shedeur's shoulders.
There you see Zinter. Third-round pick out of Michigan a year ago. 2nd and 7. Play action. Big throw coming up.
He's got space. Run. Just run. Ooh.
Ramsey is there to swallow him up. 1 yard short of a first. Rushes for 6 yards.
That's a huge open field attack.
See, that's what I meant by, like, I don't think you guys understand how fast Jalen Ramsey is on that Jerry Jeudy play. Look how fast Jalen closes that distance. You're not running around Jalen Ramsey, dog, when he's right next to you.
And 1, and of course, running the football, clock moving, 3.5 to go.
So much on the line right here. Baltimore, you can feel the nervous energy coming from that team.
All the way.
Here we go. Here we go, Jim.
3rd and 1. They give it to Sanders.
That's short.
He is held short.
Is he?
Yeah, he's short.
Yeah, they gave him no gain. They made that last-ditch effort.
Yeah, both.
Shedeur's asking to go for it.
Both officials.
Did show propensity last week.
You can't, though. 19. Look at, he falls here. We got a punt. Any quibble with that?
I mean, you're at your own 19. You got 3 timeouts. Your defense, you play the game that's being played today. You don't just base this on an offseason. I mean, have they exactly gone up and down the field on you? They got 6 points. I'm punting the ball. Although it is Aaron Rodgers, and he does have some ability, if you don't know.
Miller back there who had that 24-yard return on the last punt.
Let the clock tick. Smartish. Part of me thinks I might have done it a little earlier because they have all 3 timeouts just in case I want the ball back.
Marquez. This one's got some hang time. Demands the fair catch. Miller drops back.
Hey, Marcus has punted a good game today.
Magnificent 61-yard punt by Corey Bojorquez. And Rodgers, let's go 80 yards.
Nationwide can be a great insurance and financial services company. What's stopping?
All the scoring in this game has happened in the first half. It's kind of wild. So there's going to be some good opportunities here for Miles to get that sack. Again, 2 minutes left. They're going to have to just live with giving some true drop sets here because they need, I mean, like it's obvious, 2 minutes left. They need to score a touchdown to win this game. So this is probably going to be our best chance to get that sack for Miles here. And if you know Miles, he's probably going for a strip sack. Looks to me like Whippler is settling into the job. I think Whippler's been okay.
Concludes with Monday Night Football as the Rams take on the Falcons on ESPN. Stream games live on your mobile device with NFL Plus.
State Farm post-game show coming up after this one. Possibly some bonus coverage. JP and the guys. JP will be there to direct us through the State Farm post-game show with 2:16 to go.
All right, this is it here.
Chanting, Miles Garrett, Miles Garrett. This is your opportunity. Now, I do think they're going to run the ball a couple times on this drive, too. But you're going to have some chances here, Miles Garrett. And Aaron Rodgers does not want to go to Week 18 against Baltimore. He wants to end it right here. So why you bring him in?
Empty backfield on first down. Going to go for the deep ball, and Valdez-Scantling trying to find it.
2nd and 8 here.
It's over his head.
His eyes are getting around too late. MVS needs to get his eyes back sooner right here. Get back. Ball's already in the air. By the time you pick up where he threw it, it's too late.
You've said that twice today with MVS.
Yep.
Once in the first half on a deep ball on the far sideline.
Trying to teach him for the future as he goes forward. And I also said they're going to need him to create one big play because he's one-on-one. He's got to win once.
2nd and 10. Here comes Garrett. And Rodgers got rid of it with Garrett right on him that affected that throw.
3rd and 10.
Harris was there too. And now you got a 3rd and 10.
Was his knee down?
Rodgers is going to go ahead and read the right side, and he's going to come to the check down. But the fact that Garrett is there, he's uncomfortable, doesn't get to stand in, and you see Garrett's family almost has the record.
But monster 3rd down play right here.
You'd think Cleveland was playing for his playoff berth right now.
Third and 10. Rodgers stepping up in trouble, got rid of it incomplete.
Ooh, if you're Pittsburgh, you got 3 timeouts, 2 minutes left with the warning still to go. Do you punt here, or do you call your timeouts and hope Cleveland goes 3 and out?
By Cleveland collapsing the pocket, and Rodgers, if he wouldn't have gotten touched, would have gotten a first.
They're gonna go for it.
Wow, they're going for it. 4th and 10. You go for it here, Tony. If you don't get it, you give up a field goal. You have a 3-yard timeouts.
It's actually genius if you think about it, because you can hold them to a field goal. Right. Like you said, and keep it to 7. This is brilliant.
Need 10 for a first. Rodgers
Ball padded.
And the Browns stopped them 4 straight plays. Looked like it was Harris. As we reached the 2-minute warning, Cleveland takes over at the Pittsburgh 20, but it's not over yet. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
What's up, Carl Nation? It's
Shelby Harris with the hand on it. He's done that all season. 6-10 Browns, 2 minutes left. It's going to be interesting to see how Pittsburgh attacks this, right? Like, are they just going to let us get the field goal here? And how aggressive is Cleveland going to be to try to score that touchdown? But the Browns closing in on their 4th win of the season, which will absolutely create some conversation online about the draft positioning and everything. You would love if the Browns win a game here that at least Miles gets that sack record. Unless this thing goes to overtime, which is very unlikely. It would involve a extra point and miss. It doesn't seem like Miles is going to get an opportunity to get that sack record. No, I think Miles will get the sack record next week versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati throws the ball like 40 times a game, and they're not really too pressed. They don't really give a fuck. Mike Tomlin's the only person who's petty enough to hemorrhage a chance to clinch a playoff seat, just to avoid Miles getting the sack record. He's the only person on earth that would do this. The Steelers potentially sacrificing the playoffs to ensure Miles doesn't get the record is next level pettiness. It's stupid. Again, I don't think Pittsburgh gives a single fuck about our draft position one way or the other. I don't think they're shaking in their boots about the Browns getting good draft position. They've never gave a fuck. Right? When it was time to send us into 0-16, they gladly sent us into 0-16. They don't care about that. But what they do care about is that sack record for whatever reason. And this is a dangerous place because this is the best part of the field for Shedeur Sanders, his entire 7-game sample. Am I wrong for wanting the Miles to get the sack record over a win? I mean, you shouldn't have to choose. And it's not really a choice there, right? Like, he can get the sack record, they can win or lose.
Timeout, Cleveland. This is their first 30-second timeout.
Smart. They didn't like the look what they were going to run it against. Again, the state with JB and all the team back.
They want it to not be the team that he got it on so bad that they're about to lose. If they just let him get the sack in the first quarter, I bet they win the game easily. Yeah, they really just hemorrhaged their entire offense to not let Miles get a sack. And they're still doing it.
First down play.
They're down 4. They can win a division with a touchdown. They're down 4 and they're still hemorrhaging the offense. It's fascinating.
Timeout. Tommy Reese, who's actually called some pretty good games.
Obviously, DK Metcalf not being available in this game makes a big difference too, because a lot of what they wanted to go to for their downfield quick shots involve having a DK Metcalf, and right now they got no wide receivers worth a damn, and that might hurt them next week versus Baltimore.
This is game 100 for him on the Cleveland sideline. Can it be a milestone victory for him to deny the Steelers clinching the division today?
Shows how important every football game is. Even when you're out of it, you can still feel it, right? How aggressive do they want to be here?
2nd and 5. Back to Sampson. This time they knock him back a yard.
They call timeout.
They tried to run on first down and they brought it back on second down. I wouldn't have done that. Pittsburgh had kind of seen it a little bit because they actually snapped the ball.
So the second timeout utilized by Pittsburgh. As you see, again, if Pittsburgh falls here, the Steelers next week would host the Ravens with everything on the
We're
line.
locked into last place.
We were talking to Stefanski about, what do you do these last 2 weeks? Try to develop this young talent? What are you going to do? He just cut us off and said, we're out to win. We want to win. Says he talks to his dad every day and keeps reminding him, just go enjoy it. Well, it gets a lot more enjoyment out of it when you pull off a meaningful win against a big-time rival.
It reminds me of Adrian. What do you want me to do? Win.
Right.
Ding! Touchdown, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. That's what they're trying to do. Here we go.
Extra lineman in for the Browns on 3rd and 6.
All right.
That just gets to the 15. Now you're looking at a 33-yard field goal. Clock is stopped again. Pittsburgh's used its last time out.
That's why we said they'll get it back with 135-ish.
Legitimately cannot hate a team more than Pittsburgh.
Down play. First down was great. Shotgun, slow developing play, and you already showed him, and you had the ball snaps. It just meant that players are really smart in the NFL. When they see a similar type of look, they attack faster. I'd have done something else there. That 3rd down, you got a young quarterback.
If Pittsburgh pulls off, like this is
Points all day. Go down and score an 80, 85, 75-yard touchdown on me, and let me see it.
Had you been able to pick up a first down, you would have basically won the game. But instead, they seemed like they were content to be bringing out Schmidt for a field goal try, who's made his last 10 attempts.
Todd, man, shout out to you for getting the badge.
33 yards.
Little windy here.
The 7-point lead, and the kick is good. Zach script that you said, Tony. Now,
So Pittsburgh, oh yeah, Pittsburgh can tie, my bad. I don't know why I said that earlier. Pittsburgh can definitely tie with the touchdown. I don't know why my mind jumped to Pittsburgh being able to get 14 after a touchdown, but they can tie.
Defense in the net.
We'll see what happens.
Held Aaron Rodgers to 110 yards today. And these wide receivers, Jim, I mean, just not good.
What happens if the...
by the way, the field goal, the first points of the second half. That's it. Pittsburgh, with its last 3 drives, 11 plays, 24 yards, and only 1 first down. Stefanski trusts the Jim Schwartz defense to close out this game.
That's exactly right. They've made that decision multiple times now in these last few drives. And it's paid off before. And he's got Myles Garrett on the other side.
Can you imagine if he gets the record to close out the game? Can you imagine like a bigger moment to
for Jim Nance? I could not, but he's got a few big moments. I think this one would be up there, bud. Not saying it's number 1, but this would be.
Sack would close us out. We know Miles has the propensity to get some clutch sacks here. Jim L says, here comes sack number 23.
The NFL today, they had a special, this being the 50-year anniversary.
What a dramatic fashion would that be?
Rodgers saw back Dallas over Minnesota 50 years ago today, but the all-time Hail Mary artist, they said it, Rodgers has the most in history. Will it come down to something like that? Kick goes through the back of the end zone.
There's a good chance it will. And the number 1 Hail Mary artist of all time is on the field.
Yes, that's it.
Said, don't hit me anymore. Now I'm going to try. All right, as long as it's you. Just don't make it be Miles.
Hey, he's exchanging a few words with Alex Wright, who got to him earlier in this quarter. Now they're stomping the stands here in Cleveland.
Big though that they give it at the 35.
Longest play today for Pittsburgh was a 29-yard run by Connor Hayward. Not a 30-yard play to be down. On first down, Rodgers quickly gets it to Miller, and he's already at the 50.
What a drive starter. This could not have turned out better.
Browns in quarter coverage.
Zone defense, Rodgers saw it clear as day.
He's very calm, even though he has no time.
Back in quarters coverage again.
Here he goes on first down to the sideline.
Quick rip to the sideline. That's not going to be complete.
He did not get the second foot down.
He was bobbling it while he was still out of bounds.
I agree with him, I think.
1.
Jeff Seaman over here, the line judge.
Nope.
He's made the proper call.
Campbell's in a tough spot. The cornerback there. He has to like protect the end zone, but he's been so tight all day. We'll see how he plays it on this one as he's up there very tight on this.
Meanwhile, Garrett's on the inside.
You're right, Jim. He's moved inside. That way you can't double team. That's why he's changing the protection.
On 2nd and 10. Rodgers down the middle.
Oh, shit.
It's caught. Freiermuth has it to the Cleveland 20-yard line.
This is a big-time throw by Aaron Rodgers. This was literally within inches.
Play goes for 29 yards. Clock running inside of a minute.
Oh, boy.
Takes the handoff, goes back to Freiermuth.
Oh, boy.
12 yards with that catch.
This is an RPO run pass option, and I can't believe he was literally going to hand it off. It's a jump pass, jump catch. And he's like, what route? Just get up on the ball. I'll tell you. He's going to take a shot outside. MVS for the win up top.
There he's looking left. He comes this way, and the pass is caught by Thielen.
All right, second and goal.
At the 7 with 29 seconds to go.
And by win, I mean the tie. But I think they might go for 2 for the win.
They could. But look at this play. Down the middle of it. How precise was that pass?
Off his back foot within inches.
Then
Here's the jump pass.
The RPO you mentioned.
That's just Aaron Rodgers. Like, the adrenaline is up. His arm. He is in the zone on this drive right now after a rough day. Trying to double team Garrett out here. Get it chipped.
Second and goal. Here's Rodgers to the end zone.
Oh, Denzel almost ended it. Oh, no. Nothing more ominous than the close interception in the fourth quarter.
Yes, keep going. And he decides to just do his own thing and almost ends the game for the Steelers and Ward.
Pittsburgh's going to have time for both of these plays here.
My bad. Or MVS is going to say, my bad.
Third and goal. 24 seconds. MVS at the top. Miller at the bottom.
Look at the slot here on the right side of the field.
Does he trust it?
They chip on Garrett. They go to the end zone. It is not there. They went to Valdez-Scantling, and now you're down to 4th and goal.
He's just been off all day on those throws.
Now Pittsburgh finds itself in the exact situation they were in last week on the other side of it, but Detroit had 4th and goal at the end of the game. Here we go, 4th and goal. Take a deep breath, Baltimore. 3 on the play clock. Rodgers out of the gun. Looking to the end.
Oh, boy, he missed it. Browns will win.
The Browns.
No flag?
The upset.
Wow. Wow, Pittsburgh lost this game in one of the dumbest ways you can ever see a team lose a game.
Here's the fade route. It's there all day.
He just locked into the fade route.
Without DK Metcalf.
No DK Metcalf. That's Valdez-Scantling on Denzel Ward. It's a terrible matchup to try to attack, right? And I think if we go back to the wide, you see that they have Kenneth Gainwell underneath wide open. He doesn't want to go to it because, again, he's afraid of Myles Garrett getting that sack. So worst case scenario for draft positioning, we'll have those conversations, but there's still a lot of football to be played. Browns will get their 4th win of the season, which does for now put them back in the draft order. But I think Tennessee won today, so doesn't put them back too far. Real quick, let me thank my sponsor, Sleeper. Sleeper, you can get up to 100% match on $100 when you use the promo code Worst Take. Sleeper is the best place to go for all things sports app related. Anything you would want to use a sports app for, whether it be betting or using picks, or whether it be checking up on scores or news. Sleeper is the best one-stop shop for you. All right. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting chat here for the post-game show because there's going to be some people happy because we beat the Steelers and made their life more difficult, which is always cool. There are going to be some people who are happy because this puts the Browns out of range for a quarterback, and there are going to be some people furious that this puts the Browns out of range for a quarterback. I don't know if it does put the Browns out of range for a quarterback. I think a lot of that talk is a little premature. We'll see. I think 2 teams are going to end up with 3 wins at the end of the year, and the Browns could easily get the 3rd pick of the draft that way. Ray Rag says, is there a game to win? I'll take this one. If you lose to Baltimore, this will be all on Pittsburgh, trying to avoid giving Miles the sack record. Yeah, I would say that too. I would say that's there is some like Pittsburgh can really, this could be what gets Mike Tomlin fired. Because Miles didn't get the record. You lost your house and cat to sleeper. All right, buddy. Akalon says, I'm just going to comfort myself with the fact that we can trade up. Seriously feels like Pittsburgh didn't care about winning. I don't know what Pittsburgh cared about in this game. It felt like they cared more about that sack record not being broken on them than anything. Chris Gustafaro says, will it hurt our draft position, but you'll always take a win against the Steelers? Yeah, and let it play out. Let's see how the rest of the year plays out here. Right, you still got the Giants and the Las Vegas Raiders game ahead of you. We'll see what happens the last week of the season, who's going to play, who's not. But we did this last year where we were like, oh, the Browns are out of getting whatever pick that they wanted, and then they ended up with number 2. So let's let the season play out. Because if Miles didn't get the record, yeah, I mean, Miles can get the record next week. Not a big deal. Like throwing 3 straight times to Denzel Ward is a choice to end that game. But yeah, let's see here. You said, I'm going to comfort myself. I'm going to comfort myself with the fact that we could trade up. Seriously, though, it feels like Pittsburgh didn't care about winning. Yeah, I would agree. Like, I don't think Pittsburgh didn't care about winning this game. I just think they got too caught up in the Myles Garrett part of it that they played themselves. You know, like even by the end, man, like even by the end of that game, it's still like questionable why they're not even trying to hold on to the ball for a second or two to make anything happen. So the Browns dropped to the 6th pick with this. Now, Tennessee, Arizona, and New York are ahead of them. If those teams all win, then the Browns jump back to 3. It is possible that the Raiders could win this week and then win next week, and then the Browns could jump back to number 2. So that would be the Browns' path to number 2. I don't know how realistic that is. Let's see who plays. Did Tennessee lose? I think Tennessee won. So I don't think Tennessee's ahead of you anymore. Let me see. Excellent coach game. Kevin outcoached Tomlin. I will say that that's technically true. I also will say that I believe that is true because Mike Tomlin came into this game with one of the most selfish, dumb game plans of all time. And he's kind of getting away with it because he's Mike Tomlin. But any other coach goes into a game with that mindset, and they should probably be called out for it. Sanders threw multiple picks. Hold on. Let me get to the chats. Sanders threw multiple picks. Miles didn't get the record. Moved back in the draft order. We helped the Modell family stay in the playoff hunt. I mean, man, it's a win. like there's obviously negatives to this win, but at least Pittsburgh fans are pissed. Like, enjoy what you can enjoy out of it, man. All right. Yeah, Tennessee and New Orleans is still going on. What's the score of this game? Oh, Tennessee's not going to win. So Steelers would have won if Miles got the sack record. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, that's what I'm saying, where it's like, yes, Kevin outcoached Pittsburgh. And it's not because Kevin coached a bad game or anything. I'm saying this. I'm just saying I truly believe the Pittsburgh Steelers committed malpractice today. like I truly believe that they went into this game with the thought process of intentionally trying to stop Myles Garrett from getting that sack record. And they thought they were going to be so good that they can win outside of that. Like, it is what it is. We'll see how it plays out at the end of the year, man. Like, let's see how it plays out at the end of the year. If this is something that the Browns can recover from draft position wise, if they have to make a trade to move up, if there's a possibility to make a trade to move up, we'll see what happens. Like, try not to freak out and have all the bad scenarios happen to you in your head right now. Like, Tomlin fired. If they don't beat the Ravens next week, which is entirely possible, the Ravens have been playing decent football over the last few weeks, then I think Tomlin should get fired, me personally. Like, I just don't think there's an excuse for it, especially like when you had such a layup to put the season away, and you go into Cleveland and you play the game that you played today. It's just, I don't know how that doesn't get you fired. You know, like, again, it's borderline malpractice. It's because it's Mike Tomlin that people won't call it out for what it is outside of maybe Cleveland and Pittsburgh markets, right? Nationally, you're not going to see people call it out for what it is. But the Mike Tomlin basically shot himself in the foot to make sure he didn't give up the sack record. And I think that was incredibly stupid. Incredibly stupid. All right. But trust and believe, in Pittsburgh, they saw that. In Cleveland, they saw that. Like, just silliness that resorted to the end of that game. So again, if you're worried about draft position, Tennessee is ahead of you with 1 win. Arizona is ahead of you. The Jets are ahead of you. The Raiders are ahead of you, and the Giants are ahead of you. Now, if Tennessee gets a win, then obviously you jump them. If Arizona gets a win, there is still a path to get to the second pick of the draft. If you're the Browns at 4 wins, you need a lot of help though. Bester B14 says QB hell forever. We'll see. The Browns might be willing to trade up. You know, they're probably going to have to find a way to get within the top 5 to trade up, but we'll see what happens, man. We'll see. We'll see. Let that play out as it happens. No, I did not see Cope's tweet. Why are you asking me about that? It's crazy. But we'll let everything else play out as it comes out, right? See how week 18, the rest of this week rolls out. And then we'll figure out where the Browns sit and what the Browns have to do. Shamrod says at least the Browns have a stable kicker. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, we're going to get to the post-game show real quick. If the Browns' natural pick at the end of the year can't get him Mendoza, how aggressive do you think AB will be? Shown when you have a QB that's shown flashes with only 5 games of practice, who is free. I don't think Andrew Berry cares that much about like a rookie showing flashes. That's not like the main guy that he has control over for the next 4 years. Andrew's looking at that as we have that guy no matter what we do, right? So it's not really factoring. What the Browns will always be willing to do, though, is be aggressive towards the quarterback position. In 2020, after that went to the playoffs, right? Well, in 2021, after they went to the playoffs, they tried to trade for Aaron Rodgers. Like Baker was good. They wanted better. They tried to trade for Aaron Rodgers. This is a front office group that believes that there is a difference between having a good quarterback and a great quarterback, and they want to pursue a great quarterback. And if the Browns think that one of these guys at the top of the class are great quarterbacks, they will sacrifice whatever they need to sacrifice to go after that great quarterback if they think that that guy's there. So as far as aggression goes, it really depends on how highly they think of the class. If they think of the class very highly, then they're going to pursue it. Clark says Browns move to 6 and only 2 of those teams are going to draft the quarterback. Again, we'll see how it all plays out, Dan. Imagine if they hire Kingsbury and start the year, y'all will be miserable, and start 4 next year. Okay, but they're not going to do that, Sly. Shador looked nice in QB, then Q1 was a trash. He's bad after the script runs out. Is that a Shador problem or a Tommy Reese problem? I think it's a both guys problem, if I'm being honest with you. I think teams have figured out what Shador likes to default to, and they've taken that away from him, and he's having a hard time adjusting. Normally don't comment, but crazy for a fan base to want to lose games to get a QB, especially when you have a QB that's shown flashes. Yeah, I don't think you've seen enough from Shador to think that he's going to solve think it's a good bet to just lean on that to solve your quarterback problem. And I think ultimately that would be the dilemma that the Browns are faced with in the offseason is how much do you go after? Like, I think people are kind of overvaluing the flashes that you're seeing from Shador, if I'm being honest with you. There is stuff there, but just because there's stuff there doesn't mean that that stuff means that he's a franchise quarterback. I mean, you could go back and look at like Gardner Minshew's rookie year. There's stuff there, but it didn't mean that the Jaguars needed to stop the whole franchise and build around him. You know what I mean? They fear Mendoza in the division. That's why they didn't. No, I don't think this had anything to do with Mendoza. I think this is just classic Pittsburgh pettiness towards Myles Garrett. It's always been the Pittsburgh pettiness towards Myles. Yeah. We're going to go to the post-game show soon here. Want to give a second here to allow people from the Bleacher Report chat to get in as the Browns win their first game. When's their last win? When's the last time the Cleveland Browns got a win? Was it all the way back with Shador's first start versus the Raiders? It's a much different game for Shador. He didn't particularly play well in this game, especially in the second half of it. But Browns' first win since all the way back, I think 2 months ago, versus the Raiders. And their first division win of the season, which is interesting, right? We talk about the pillars of Stefanskiism. That is one that holds here. They win 13-6. There's a lot to talk about this win, right? Draft position, all of this stuff. But let's start with this. So, in Kevin Stefanski's run as a head coach, he has been able to be one of the few guys who has had a good enough history with the team that you could have expectations about what his seasons typically produce, right? There are pillars of the Stefanski era that for the most part of the era had held, right? For the longest time, the Browns didn't lose back-to-back games with Kevin Stefanski, which meant that their record would only be but so bad. The Browns always had a very strong home record with Kevin Stefanski, and the Browns have always had a strong division record with Kevin Stefanski. These are the pillars of Stefanskiism that have stood since 2020, and the last couple of years have seen a lot of those pillars crumble, right? The Browns don't lose games on back-to-backs. Well, they lose now, right? They lose a lot of games in a row over the last 2 years. That pillar crumbles. The Browns' home record, that pillar crumbles. And then we're down to what felt like the last pillar of Stefanskiism, which is one, I do not believe he's ever lost to Pittsburgh at home. Somebody can correct me on that. But 2020, they win the last game against Pittsburgh at Cleveland to make it to the wild card, to clinch their spot in the wild card, and ironically enough, clinch their spot to play Pittsburgh in the wild card, where the Browns would then go on to beat Pittsburgh in front of 43 million people, according to Nielsen records, in a pretty embarrassing home loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers that made Big Ben reportedly cry. And when I say reportedly, there's video evidence of it. So that is 2020. 2021 is the only one that's difficult for me because I think if they didn't win in Kevin's run, maybe 2021 is the year they didn't do it. Let's see. Let me look this up real quick. But Kevin's history against Pittsburgh, I think in 2021, they beat Pittsburgh. No, they lose to Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. And then they lost to Pittsburgh at home. So that's the one time they lost at home to Pittsburgh was 2021. I know for a fact 2022, they beat Pittsburgh at home. 2023, they beat Pittsburgh at home. And in 2024, they did it as well. So Kevin doesn't really lose to Pittsburgh at home. It's been very difficult for them to beat Cleveland in this stadium. That was like the last pillar of Stefanskiism that remained. And that pillar did hold today. The Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 13-6. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. You can credit some of this to Kevin out-coaching Mike Tomlin technically, and I do think that's true. I do think today technically Mike Tomlin got out-coached by Kevin. I do think it's not because Kevin was fine in this game. He made the 4th and 7 decision that pissed people off. But other than that, Kevin was fine in this game. Tommy Rees was okay in this game. I don't think anybody was amazing from the Brown side of this. I think this is a lot more to do with just the malpractice coming from the Pittsburgh sideline all game. And I know this is going to be hard for some people to hear because they're so used to glazing Mike Tomlin and talking about how amazing Mike Tomlin is. But Mike Tomlin is 100% the reason they lost this game today. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. If the Pittsburgh Steelers have a different coach other than Mike Tomlin, they win this game versus the Cleveland Browns. And the reason I say that is that Mike Tomlin decided to go with the game plan this week that I think only one coach in all of football would have been dumb enough to go with. And this is not to say that Mike Tomlin is dumb, but sometimes Mike Tomlin's propensity to be petty allows him to do dumb shit. If you followed Mike Tomlin throughout his career, that's been a constant. His propensity to be petty allows for dumb shit to happen sometimes. And this is 100% the case with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He hemorrhaged his entire passing attack because he was so scared that Myles Garrett was going to get the sack record. I shit you not. That is what happened in this game. Give me 1 second. You can ask every soul who watched this game from quarter 1 to 4 what happened on the offensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. Keep in mind, this is an offense that had been firing on all cylinders as of late, that did lose DK Metcalf, which I'll give them that, but they scored 29 points versus the Detroit Lions last week, 28 points versus the Miami Dolphins the week before that, and then 27 points against the Baltimore Ravens. So they had been scoring points up until this game with the Cleveland Browns. They scored 6 points in this game, and it was the most pathetic 6 points you have ever seen. And the reason they scored 6 points is because Pittsburgh just would not let go of doing anything that could have possibly allowed for the Cleveland Browns to score. I mean, for Myles Garrett to score a sack. They designed this entire offensive game plan not around attacking the Browns' weaknesses, not around how to win this game that they needed to win to avoid basically being in a playoff game next week versus Baltimore. They designed the game plan around avoiding letting Myles get 1 sack. They let other people get sacks. They let all this other shit happen, but they designed this plan to not let Myles get a sack. That is just straight up malpractice. If I were a fan, if this were the positions were flipped, and Kevin Stefanski had called a game plan to avoid TJ Watt or Alex Highsmith from getting some fucking record, and that's why the Browns lose a game that they needed to win, I'd be fucking furious. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to take credit away from Kevin or Tommy here. I think they did a good job of scooping up that mistake, but let's be real here. The Browns gave this game away more than a couple of times to Pittsburgh. Like, Shedeur threw 2 interceptions. The first one wasn't his fault. The second one was one of the most egregious interceptions I had ever seen in my life. And look, in the first half of this game, Shedeur was actually pretty good, but he has too many moments like that for me to be comfortable with him at any moment of the game. Like, I don't walk away from this stretch of games and watching Shedeur play over the last month feeling great about him, honestly. Like, there are some highlight moments there, but too many times he's throwing the dumbest interception you've ever fucking seen with a lead, and it's just enough to make me completely uncomfortable with him because he shouldn't be making those mistakes. Like the tip ball, strip sack, interception, that's just the game. Game happens. Okay, who cares? But that interception he threw, where he just threw the ball up to Jerry Jeudy, it's not the first of that kind that he's thrown up. And there's enough there to be concerned about the decision-making ability. Again, there's a lot of like low-level Jameis Winstonry in there with Shador and his decision-making. That makes me concerned about giving that a long-term shot here. If we're talking about what the Browns did well in this game, this was the revival of the defensive line, right? The last couple of weeks, I think the Browns defensive line had been struggling a little bit, especially against the run. This week, Mason Graham was excellent. Thought Mike Hall did a good job. Shelby Harris got the big tip ball at the end of the game. So really nice resurgence from this defensive line. Carson Schlesinger, shout out to him. He played injured pretty much all game. And like legitimately, what was that one play? It's a famous Madden meme where this guy gets his player injured on Madden. Hold on. This guy gets his player injured on Madden. He's like, oh man, it's not Donald Driver. It's a Green Bay Packers player. And he's talking about putting his team on his back and all this shit. It really felt like that's how Carson Schlesinger was walking, right? So much determination though, right? Like it felt like that's how he was walking for most of this game. Incredible effort from the team. And I think that's the one thing you can't really deny about Kevin. These guys continue to fight, man. Like they have continued to fight every week. They have not given up on Kevin. They have not given up on the mission. They have not given up on winning. I think Kevin Stefanski has demonstrated through 2 awful losing seasons, unfortunately, that these guys that he has are going to lock in for him despite that. And I think that's something, right? Kevin, I know people kind of center at the idea of this, but like, I think Kevin is like a good leader. And I think the effort that you're seeing from guys this year at the end of these kind of dead seasons back to back are demonstrating that he is a solid leader who can get his guys to lock in for 18 games, regardless of what the records are. So, you got to give Kevin credit for that. And he's certainly been able to do a good job with that. And I think that effort showed up today in this Pittsburgh game because you needed a lot from your defense, who kept being put in bad situation after bad situation. Shout out to the guys. Like Myles Garrett had a good game in this one. He didn't get a sack, but he did have a really good game in this one. It's going to be hard for anybody with eyeballs to truly act like he got blanked in this one. We know what Pittsburgh was doing in this game. But I thought that the guys around Myles, Alex Wright, played really good football. Hey, Tyson Campbell, that trade between Tyson Campbell and Greg Newsome feels like one of the better trades in the NFL this year. Like it feels like the Browns. Yeah, thank you for that, man. Somebody said Greg Jennings is the guy I was referring to, the old Madden meme. There's so much determination though. But yeah, it's just, he's been so good for this team. Such a solid tackler, such a solid corner, a huge upgrade over Greg Newsome. And he's going to be able to be maintained longer and cheaper than Greg Newsome was. Huge trade there. And he does fit the team way better. I mean, like even the stuff where like, oh, Tyson Campbell gets beat deep, it's not really even happening right now with the Browns. So they found a way to put a cap on that. So really happy with Tyson Campbell. And then obviously Denzel Ward, they don't really test him anymore. The Pittsburgh Steelers had the bright idea to go ahead and try to test Denzel Ward 3 straight times with the game on the line. Again, man, enough can't be said about how bad Pittsburgh's offensive game plan was today. Like, it was like shockingly bad. Here's how bad Pittsburgh's offensive game plan is. There are going to be people in the comment section who are going to write a comment and like the comment. It's going to probably be one of the more liked comments in the video about how they truly believe that Pittsburgh threw this game to try and ruin the Browns draft position, because that's how bad the offensive game plan was. I just think it was bad because Mike Tomlin is petty, and he's the most petty guy in the NFL. And hold on. And he got caught being the most petty guy. And that move to be petty was just so freaking stupid by Pittsburgh. So yeah, Pittsburgh don't really know what their game plan was. I mean, you can run the ball on Cleveland's defensive line at times. They didn't really try to run the ball a ton. They had good yards with Jaylen Warren, only gave him 12 carries in this game. They threw the ball 39 times, but then they never threw the ball over 10 yards. And then when they did try downfield, they're like, oh yeah, we got a one-on-one shot with Scotty fucking Miller. One-on-one, like, okay, you want to take a deep shot to Scotty Miller? Or yeah, we're going to try Marquez Valdez-Scantling against Denzel Ward. I don't even think that's something you would have wanted to do in Marquez Valdez-Scantling's fucking prime. You know what I mean? Like, you weren't testing Denzel Ward with MVS ever. Why would you do it now? I don't understand it. Pittsburgh, again, their offensive game plan, it was so bad that even as somebody who never really wants good things to happen for Pittsburgh, it was baffling to watch them be that bad offensively. Again, true malpractice by Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin, and the offensive staff, because that reeked of Mike Tomlin pettiness. And again, I'll say this. If Mike Tomlin was not the head coach of that football team, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers win this game. Because the Browns did not play great in this one. Certainly, like, they did not play good. Like, nobody played good enough to win this game. This game should have probably ended in a freaking draw. But the Browns end up winning. And I think the thing you can hope for if you're a Browns fan is that Pittsburgh loses to Baltimore next week, and that be what finally gets Mike Tomlin up out of there in Pittsburgh, because it can't be more obvious. It can't be more obvious that this was a Mike Tomlin petty field decision that led to them dropping this game and putting themselves in a position to have to beat Baltimore next week. That being said, let's talk about the negatives of winning this game, which is the Browns' current draft position, right? A lot of people want the Browns to take a quarterback. That requires the Browns finding a way in the top 2 of this draft, more than likely, right? Right now, the Browns sit at 6 after the result of all of these games. They win. They get the 4-12. They're the 6th pick in the draft right now. Now, there is still a path where the Browns can get to the number 2 overall pick. It includes Tennessee winning next week, Arizona winning next week, the Jets winning next week, and the Raiders winning at 4 o'clock and next week, or the Giants winning at 4 o'clock and next week. It is possible that the Browns could still get the number 2 overall pick because they have the tiebreaker, but they're probably not, and they're probably talking about trade up territory. So we'll have those conversations once we know what's up. Sorry about that. But yeah, there's going to be a whole nother thing that's going to be interesting to talk about. All in all, this was peak week 17 football right here. Pittsburgh played a pretty pathetic game on offense. The Cleveland Browns played a pretty pathetic second half of offense, but the Browns' 10 first quarter points that they got early, and shout out to Harold Faden, makes a beautiful adjustment on a ball that was underthrown, ends up scoring a touchdown on it. That truly ends up being the difference in the game, right? The Browns made the play. Pittsburgh, their offense never made a play to win this game. And look, some of this might have been even more predictable when you look at the lack of playmakers that Pittsburgh had available for this game. It kind of put them in a weird position. Why, in a world where they have no offensive threats, Do they only throw the ball to Pat Fryermuth 3 times and only run the ball with Jalen Warren 12 times? Again, coaching malpractice. But, the Browns made more plays than the Pittsburgh Steelers did in this game. The Browns won the game. Shedeur was certainly a part of that. And I think what you saw from Shedeur early was encouraging. What you continue to see from Shedeur in the second half of these games is not encouraging at all. And sometimes more discouraging than some of the flashes that you see early on. He keeps making mistakes that you can't explain, right? We'll see what this means for the Browns. Will they end up trading for or trying to sign a Malik Willis or some shit like that next year? Will they trade up in the draft? We got a lot of time to discuss that. Again, the draft is in April. We're only in December right now. But that's kind of my thoughts about this game. Let me hear yours. We got a bunch of super chats that came in. Why no Rocket or Tillman in the end? We forget. What are you talking about? Like at the end of the game, why didn't we throw to Rocket or Tillman? Because they were just trying to protect the ball at that point. Shedeur threw like 2 terrible interceptions. Is that what you're asking? I think that's pretty obvious why they didn't go to that. Let's see here. Let's look at the other chat. Kevin's future depends on the Shedeur decision. I don't think it's really that closely related. I think Kevin's future is kind of largely on internally. What do they blame the offensive issues on? And do they see a path to fixing them with Kevin on the roster still? I think that's truly the determiner right there. All right, we're going to catch up on some of these supers. Don't worry. All right, lost the turnover battle. No running back one, no tight end one, no line against a team with a 3-win record. Kevin and Shedeur got a lot out of this team. Keep both. Again, I don't think the Browns are going to get rid of Shedeur. We'll see if they keep Kevin. Fog Raw says the Browns move to 6 and only 2 of those teams are going to have to draft the quarterback. Sly said, okay, yeah, I already read that one. Read that one. Worst thing Steelers could have done is let us win and not let Miles get the record in 16 games. No, the best thing the Steelers could have done for them fucking selves is win this game, guys. They win and they're in the playoffs. Now they got to play Baltimore to stay in. They could have rested their starters next week. There's no way Pittsburgh was like, yeah, we're fine with losing this game versus the Browns, yo. They lost this game because they were like, we think we can win while being petty, which is why it's coaching malpractice. Shedeur had the opportunity to remove a lot of doubt from people's minds for next season. He did not. I would say that there's more doubt in my mind about Shedeur than there was like 3 weeks ago. One Mike 480 says, considering the sporting cast, 12 has shown enough hope. He's screwed if they don't improve the offensive roster though. Some of the mistakes Shedeur is making have nothing to do with the supporting cast, though. It's easy to be like, oh yeah, well he made mistakes, but this is supporting cast, and it's like some of this shit's got nothing to do with the supporting cast. Like the things that make me nervous about Shedeur aren't the things that I feel like are related to the supporting cast. It's like his decision making at the end of the games can be like legit mind-bogglingly bad. Malik Wills is the QB1 next year, LMAO, from Chris and Corvina. Chris also says, why does Shedeur always revert to a crossbody hero ball throw? He he's had 2 really bad throws like that. The drop pick 6, Malik Willis, quarterback 1. Yeah, the drop pick 6 to Alex Highsmith is very concerning. Would rather have San or CJ Carr anyways. Do people really think that like San and CJ Carr are going to be, you know what? I'll let somebody else fight that battle with you. I think if you wait for San and CJ Carr, you're going to be like, well, we should wait till 2028. And then you're going to wait till 2029. I don't think that those guys are the end all be all. Why no Rocket Tillman in the end? We forget. I just think they weren't trying to turn the ball over at that point. Sir Phillips, how do you not consider firing Tomlin after this? I don't know, man. Again, there's one human being on the world petty enough to institute this game plan, and he's the one human being who would have lost this game today. Like, it's Mike Tomlin. Like, this is only a loss you can get with Mike Tomlin. You know what I mean? See, Drizzy Dre says, we have a horrible O-line and bad wide receivers. I feel like he's had good game, fixable issues. The one interception went off a helmet, and the other one, he tried to hit Judy. Feels like whenever played a factor gives him more time. No, man, I don't think that second interception is excusable. I don't think you can write that second interception off on, oh, well, he doesn't have help. That one was just like, that's a decision that Shedeur tends to make. And you could have a good team, and he's going to make decisions like that. Want to lose the game for Mendoza, but at this point, I would rather beat the Bengals next week and just take Tate or Tyson. Again, let's just see how things play out before we start to get all into the whole, oh, what position are we going to be selecting in or not? Let's see how it plays out. See where we get to on Sunday with that whole conversation. But that's where we are. That's where the Browns are. A 4-win team, which, like, hey, look, if you're Kevin, you can say we did improve from last year. We're a 3-win team this year. We're a 4-win team we were a 3-win team last year. We're a 4-win team this year. So you can say you improve. And that certainly is something. I don't know if it's going to be enough to keep Kevin his job, but it is something. We know that the Browns are going to be aggressive in their pursuit of quarterback fixes. If they see quarterback fixes in the offseason, Ed Dewberry talked about that extra first-round pick is an asset. And you can use an asset a number of ways. You can select with an asset. You can trade with an asset. He talks about that extensively. So it's how he views it. We'll see how they use it. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Y'all have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.